Oh shit, Tommy Buns, we're live.
Yo, dog.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
We already did a podcast.
We totally did.
Yeah, we just went off. We started going off about everything.
I was really lost in it too.
Me too. Well, excuse me, folks. We're slightly intoxicated.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Dadmouth.
You know what I'm saying?
Have you done any variations to DJ Dadmouth now? Have you got bored with it, or you?
Oh, I'm totally bored with it. I just stopped doing it.
You decided to stop?
Well, I just haven't actually done that much morning TV shows lately. So there was a bunch of those in a row.
Now is that? God damn it, folks! I'm sorry. I didn't even drink the buttered coffee. Did you decide to just stop doing those things? They stopped being fun?
No, I mean, if I was doing morning press tomorrow and I just wanted to do something to entertain myself, I would just do it again.
I met a lot of really nice people on morning TV.
Yeah.
But it's the most restrictive venue.
It's a bad idea. From the thing is here, like, comedy clubs are just thinking, we got to let as many people know about you to sell tickets. There's a certain point when you're a certain type of comic, basically, where you're like, that's not my audience is not going to find me there. People aren't going to come because of, I just feel like it's a waste of time with certain comics to do Good Morning Toledo, you know?
Yeah, like what percentage of the people that are watching Good Morning Toledo would like your act?
Yeah, it's real low. It's not high. You know what I mean? So you go.
Are you sure though? Like who watches those? Who watches those morning shows? If you had to guess, Housewives.
If I had to guess, mostly, yeah. I would say mostly.
Mostly Housewives.
Yeah, with their children, young children, and then the guy's like, I'm gonna show you how to make chicken that really isn't here when we come back. You know.
What about retired people? Would that be on the demographic?
Probably, yeah. And then you know what you don't see a lot of at my shows? But like moms, stay-at-home mom or whatever, and retired people.
Yeah.
So they're not at the show.
Yeah. It's a totally different art form, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
they don't really cross over that much.
That. They do the blast.
Some people are good at it, though.
Yeah.
Like,
no, there's some are good.
Did you ever see Tracy Morgan when he pulled his shirt off and started hitting his stomach and he was saying that someone was getting pregnant?
That's probably the best Good Morning anything of all time. And he was in Chicago, and I think he ends it with he goes, Horace Grant, holla, which is, the old power forward for the Chicago Bulls. That was such a great fucking improv line right then.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was like the button on the whole thing where you're like, Jesus, he just shouted out Horace Grant. He told him to holla. It's so funny. It's the best one. Tracy
Morgan's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Woo. Yeah.
He was slapping his belly.
Yeah.
And he was saying someone's getting pregnant.
It's absurd.
Pretty ladies, this is a mating call.
So people are going to pay to see your show, and they'll just see you smacking on your belly.
I'm taking all the power back. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait
well,
a minute. Hold
like
on.
we've got to a picture that we're so upset.
I got to take the power back. Put it back on.
Uh-oh, we just lost your microphone. Oh, he's taking his shirt off. You might want to put the microphone. You might want to put
Texas. Come on, don't go to break. This is Texas.
Look at him dancing. Oh my God.
This is just a sample of what people can expect.
He's
more
so
dancing, more shirtless action.
Love. It's all love. I'm Captain James T. Kirk. I went to Vietnam.
Tracy, one of your favorite characters you do. One of my.
I gotta get them wheelchair gloves. You know the black leather one with the fingers cut off.
I'm gonna stop asking. Do Spoonie Love. Do a little bit of Spoonie Love. Can you do that for me? This is the character you do in Crank Yankers.
This guy is
one of my favorites.
That's terrible. That guy's terrible.
Yeah.
You might want to hold that.
Let me see. Spoonie Love was shame on. No, I can't do Spoonie. Spoonie was graphic.
Yeah, you're right. You can't.
I get his children watching, but I did get this leg blowed off in Vietnam.
Well, clearly you have no problem taking your shirt off, so that's okay.
That's love. That's sex symbol.
That
He's
I'm a
sitting
sex
on
symbol.
one foot, pretending he got his leg blown off.
Sex symbol.
Yeah, that's nice.
Holla at me. Come see me. I'm at the comic strip.
Look at that.
Not the comic strip, but the comic script.
Tracy Morgan will perform this weekend.
I love you. I love you,
Will be at the
Tep. I love
comic
you,
strip.
Tep.
Tickets still available, folks. And, who knows what's going to happen.
Dude, you know
oh my God,
what I love
funny.
too? I was just
Can
thinking
people
about
hear that on YouTube? Okay.
that the Horace Grant reference in that Chicago one is it's such the funniest choice. it's such a little detail. Like that was so funny that he went like, I need fingerless wheelchair club because he's sitting like that. And he's already thinking this is what it's like to sit in a wheelchair. But I love when the shout out, like it was in Chicago. So you're thinking Bulls. Anybody could have said shout out to Michael Jordan, right? Or second most famous Scottie Pippen. And it's still funny. But like the reference to almost like, it was like an inside Bulls reference. You know, it's like so specific to, it's like the perfect third on the list name to shout out. And plus the name sounds better. Horace Grant is just a better name to yell, you know? The name Horace. Horace Grant! Holla! And then they're like, and then the newscasters are like, all right, see you later. Like they don't know what to do. It's so funny though.
Yeah, that guy was trying to get him to do impressions while he was in the middle of this awesome
guy, that wasn't Chicago, by the way.
Where was that?
That was Texas.
Why was that guy trying to get him to do impressions while he was in the middle of that amazing rant?
He didn't know what to do.
Do you think the people were in his ear? Were they telling him?
They're like, yeah, watch him.
Get him to change it. Get him to change it. Change the subject.
Yeah.
Did they put something in his ear, do you think? Those guys have earpieces?
Yes, usually. Most of the time, yes.
Earpieces are weird, man. When someone's talking in your ear and you're talking,
yeah,
it is one of the most distracting things. It's very difficult to hear someone talk and then still maintain.
You guys do that in the fights.
Very rarely. They're so good at it.
But when you pop it in, they never talk.
They never talk over me. Like there's never. I mean, they're so good.
Is that earpiece feeding you anything though, or just hearing your voice?
Yeah.
Is it like a?
The producers we can talk. Like I can ask them about a specific replay.
Yeah.
Like show me that again. Can you show me that for an overhead? I want to see where that landed, or or things along those lines. But sometimes Mark Delagrate and I will have conversations.
Yeah.
Like I'll ask him, like, is this a good thing, a good piece of advice that someone's given? Do you agree with that? And he and I will have discussions about like whether we agree with certain tactics.
Sure.
Which is an interesting discussion because Mark is like a real world-class trainer, knows a lot about Muay Thai specifically and a lot about MMA.
Do they ever feed you something where you like it totally blows your mind? Like, oh shit, I didn't realize that's what happened. And
sometimes. God damn it. Yeah, sometimes you'll see something, like they'll see something in a replay. Maybe someone catches it, like a break of an ankle or a weird roll of a knee or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll say, like, watch this. Look at his ankle. Look at his ankle.
And then you go, oh shit.
They'll show it to me.
Yeah.
And I'll go, oh yeah. So we'll have like a conversation, like, oh yeah, we need to show that, and then we'll replay something.
Wow. I was thinking too. I was watching. I was just looking on Instagram that you were in Toronto, and you did a show. And then you did the fights the next day. And I was thinking as like watching you do call the fights, I was like, man, there's no other broadcaster in the major sports where like the night before he had as good a time as you did. You know? like there's no way Al Michaels and Chris Collingsworth are like, tonight we're gonna fucking party with like fans, and then tomorrow we'll call the Cowboys and the Giants. Like that never happens for sure. You know?
Yeah.
You get to like really have the best trips that are work trips when you think about it, you know?
Oh yeah, they're so fun.
It's fucking nuts.
But even when I don't do a show,
you still love the fights.
The UFC is awesome.
Of course.
Watching live fights, man. Especially now that I loosened up my schedule, so I go. I go like half as much, and it's only North America.
Yeah.
No, none of those big crazy trips. They just take too long. They break you down.
Yeah.
It takes too many days to recover from them.
It's killer.
Yeah.
It kills you.
But on top of that, it's like that's the right amount for me.
Yeah.
Like to just still be super enthusiastic about it. And
there's nothing like it. I mean, I'll tell you, I didn't become a hardcore MMA guy, but now I watch it casually and enjoy it. But the whole reason is that I went to it live. Going to it live changes your perspective completely.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I've only been to a few other sports live. I've been to baseball games, been to basketball games, been to a hockey game.
Basketball live will change your perspective.
Yeah.
Just how enormous they are, how athletic, how fast the shit is.
Yeah, it's incredible. When you see the footwork and the movement when they're like doing some sort of a crazy layup. Yeah. It's like, God damn, super athleticism while people are trying to stop you from doing it.
10 people in not that much space when you're at basketball live. You're like, that's not that much room on, especially on a half court, you know.
And it takes this laser beam focus to be able to stop and put that ball exactly where you want it. Like, what an interesting skill.
To the way that they pass. Actually, you know, LeBron's like, on top of being this super athlete and everything, his passing skills are absurd. You could look at a passing reel of him and you're like, how did he even? I think even people that play basketball, go, how did you even do that? Because he'll go in a direction and anticipate that someone's going to be somewhere else within seconds, and then will behind his head pass it, and you just can't put it together. You're like,
do you think these are things they work on? They must work on.
I think
that,
so.
right?
I think they work on it, but I think at their level and players like at his level, it's just second nature.
There's so much improvisation.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's kind of a creative game in a lot of ways,
dude. It's really fucking amazing to watch high level anything. I mean, I don't like soccer that much, but I will watch. Like, I don't watch it regularly, but when World Cup comes on, I'll turn into like a mini fanatic.
You got to watch it with Ian Edwards.
Oh, he's fucking really hardcore.
He's hardcore.
Yeah.
He has his own podcast about it.
Just about it, yeah.
Yeah, him and some other dude. Who's the other dude that he does it with? You know,
Jason Galern, right?
Is it Galern?
Well, Galern and him did it at one point. I know for sure.
No shit. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Galern's a really funny guy.
He's a fucking hilarious comedian.
Really funny guy.
Yeah, we're talking about I was gonna bring something else. I probably can't talk about this yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna say something nice, but I don't think we can talk about it yet. Oh. But Martin Harris, that's who he does it with. Oh, so maybe he does some with Galern. Is Galern's a big soccer player too?
Big soccer guy. Yeah.
Yes.
That high level. You ever watch like
that? What's that little dude's name?
Messi.
Messi. Yeah, Lionel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. You got it queued up. Jamie's a wizard. Look at him. He went to me.
And this dude's like 25 or 26, you know?
Yeah, and he's this just technical wizard, improvisational wizard.
No, he's amazing. I've watched these highlights, man. I've watched a bunch of his because it's fascinating just to watch somebody that good at anything. You know, if you told me, like, I just tweeted out this thing today about a dart player, and they're like, this is one of the baddest motherfuckers in darts. I'll watch that dude throw darts for hours. Look at this. Look at this.
Dude, this guy's a wizard.
Look at this. Just embarrassing.
That's just wizardry.
Yeah.
That guy, like, he moves like a wizard. It's like what he's able to do with that ball. It's just fucking astounding.
Yeah. And
you have to be so much better than people to do something like that.
And then the thing I always think about, remind myself of is that he's so much better than people who are really great at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
He's not playing me out there in this, you know? Like, those are other professionals.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm going to embarrass you, man. You're not going to want to talk to your wife or your mother after this game.
Well, occasionally there's fights like that, too.
Yeah. Look at this shit.
At least these guys, they're getting humiliated, but nobody's getting hurt.
Oh.
Look at that wizardry. That is just fucking straight up wizardry.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, his footwork is just, it's like he's doing a different thing than them. Did he get tripped over the referee? Is that what happened there?
It looked like it.
How dare they? Is that what happened? Did the referee get in the way? The referee's get in the way? That's annoying.
Dude, in
Get
football,
out of the way.
in our football,
No?
That team was wearing stripes.
there's some big time
Collisions? Oh, yeah, my God.
nasty over the middle shit where the guy's like, and he's like 64.
Oh, my God, no.
He just turns and just
No.
Wow. Yeah, and you see
Do they
their
die?
heads. No, but there's
They're
there's
never the
guys
same again.
You can't be on some of them.
Can you
Some of them are
imagine?
horrific, man.
Imagine a regular person getting hit by a football player.
Yeah, there's only a couple refs that stand out as really in shape in football. A couple, most of them just look like like a healthier, like a more fit but normal-bodied guy. Then there's Ed Hockules, and there's another guy who are like a little more
Jacked.
a little bit, yeah, a little bit.
There's this dude who invented this thing called the Iron Neck. His name's Mike Jolly.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna get this out of my throat, folks. I know it's as annoying to me as it is to you. But he came by to.
there's Hockules. Come on, man, he's 60-something. Sorry.
Oh my God, that guy's gonna get curled. He's gonna get hit by something.
No, but look, he's in shape. I'm saying. He's he's one of the. Look how he's an older guy, and he's definitely in shape.
Yeah, but even though if you're an older guy and in shape, you're getting hit by an
dude.
actual NFL player.
Yeah, no, sucks.
The point is, this guy
Yeah.
came over here to demonstrate. Jesus Christ. He came over to demonstrate this thing. He's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
The guy's huge. He's just thinking, like, if this guy played football, if I played football and he played football and we ran into each other, that would be terrible for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's a different kind of person out there. These like, unless you've been around like a pro NFL player,
yeah.
you see him walk through a crowd of people and you go, oh.
Oh, man. I just met J.J. Watt. I just met him like a month ago. And I was like people call me like big fella that I meet, you know?
Right.
Big guy, big fella.
Right.
Hey, man, I know you're a big guy, you know, all that stuff.
Right.
And then in your head, you're like, I guess I am a big guy. And then you meet that dude. And like, I looked like a child next to him, you know? Like I looked like an actual, like a little boy meeting a Superman or something.
That's a giant human being.
He's a giant, enormous man.
They make people, we watched or we looked at this website that held up all the various heights and weights of like NFL players from 20, 30 years ago in comparison to today.
Oh, yeah. It's like night and day.
It's amazing.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I remember linemen, like which is the biggest players in football, were like 275 was the standard weight. And when people would say that, you go, that's a fucking humongous guy. I mean, I'm like 8, 9 years old. You go 275. And that was like the thing. And it was a big deal if a guy weighed 300 pounds. And if you were over 300, you were an anomaly. Like, you remember the fridge, right?
Yeah.
So that was like the thing. It was like he was like the biggest human in the NFL. And they called him the fridge, and he was like fatter and everything. But they couldn't believe, you know, it was a thing to be like, this guy's over 300 pounds. Now, if you weighed 300 and you were playing on the line, you'd be underweight. You'd be one of the light guys. Because there's guys that are 330, 340 playing that position. And athletic guys, too.
Wow.
It's really huge, man. Really, really
How
big.
much bigger can they get? Like, what's maximum size for a
thought
pro
about
athlete?
that. I thought about it. There was this guy who played, but he wasn't really great, but he was 6'8", 400. And
6'8", 400 pounds.
yeah.
And that's a human being.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, imagine if
know.
like everybody was 6'8", 400 pounds. The world would be a different place. I mean,
Completely
it's a different thing. That's a different kind of human being. 6'5", 289.
But this guy is really fast, really athletic.
Box jump
What?
in a 4.8,
Hold,
440.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Look what that just says. It says he made a 61-inch box jump.
Yeah.
That is insane. For the
Yeah.
average person to understand how insane that is, like how do you describe how insane it is to watch a almost 300-pound man launch himself literally 5 feet into the air?
Here we go. Look at this fucker,
That is
man.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. Look at the size of this prick.
Yeah, man. I stood in the middle of his
Here
back.
he goes. Watch this. Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
insane. Wow. I mean, he fucking launched himself in the air.
Big fuck, man.
That's so hard to do.
Yeah.
Like what he just did, like 1/10 of like super athletes could probably do, right? How many people could do that? Jamie, you're a big.
He's one of very few, and there's a couple of guys that I don't know. It's not 5 feet, but like easily 3.5 feet that jump out of the pool.
Oh, I've
Some
seen
guys
that.
do that with weights in their hands too.
Yeah, BJ Penn can do that. So can Chad Mendes.
Silly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is a
But those guys are smaller guys.
this
You
is
know?
a humongous guy, dude.
Yeah. BJ, he's fought as heavy as heavyweight.
Really?
Yeah, BJ fought.
He fought heavyweight?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
What's he
fought-
like, 5'9"?
What's that?
5'9"? Is that right? Height-wise?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. He fought Lyoto Machida. And Lyoto Machida was, clearly 200-plus pounds. And Lyoto Machida had knocked out Rich Franklin, too.
What's BJ's like walk-around weight? You know?
Now he's pretty light because he's fighting at 145.
Mhm. But if he
he's
wasn't
gonna-
5, would he be like a 160, 170 guy?
Yeah, if you got up, yeah. If he, wasn't doing a lot of cardio.
Yeah.
I bet he probably walks around like 160 or something
Yeah.
like that. But he won the 155 and he won the 170.
What happened in that heavyweight fight?
He won.
Oh, he won.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think he won to Lyoto Machida. I think he lost to Lyoto Machida. He lost a decision.
That's a big deal.
See if that's true. I believe that's true. I think he lost a decision. Does it say that anywhere? I know he left the UFC and he fought a couple fights in other organizations. He fought Bang Ludwig in Japan. And he had a fight with Lyoto Machida. You got it? Young Jamie. Yeah, that's it. Look, Lyoto Machida was big back then. Look, Lyoto won a decision. Yeah, crazy. Lyoto goes on to be the UFC light heavyweight champion, and BJ is now fighting as a featherweight. It's fucking incredible. I mean,
that's a really nutty thing that fighters do when you try to win and compete at different weight classes.
BJ just didn't give a fuck. He was so confident, particularly like early in his career.
Yeah.
That was one of the things about him when he would fight. He just had this intense belief in himself. And he would be super, super aggressive too. Like he knocked out this dude Kyle Uno in like 6 seconds. And Kyle Uno is a really good fighter. Kyle Uno is very experienced. He's fought a lot of like real world-class guys in Japan, and he was a real respected grappler. And it was an interesting matchup because of BJ's grappling pedigree. Like BJ won the Mundials. And Kyle Uno was thought to be like a really good grappler, real solid wrestler and submission guy. But BJ just stormed at him and just starched him.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Just believes that he's going to knock you out.
He was just so good. People who didn't get to see him live when he was in his prime, BJ was so good. He was so good. Like when he beat Diego Sanchez, I remember thinking, damn. Like that was what I think what you'd call like peak BJ. Peak BJ was like he beat Sean Shirk. He destroyed Sean Shirk, who was a really tough fighter. Like people forget how good Sean Shirk was. Sean Shirk was like a human pit bull. This dude was just jacked. Super strong wrestler. Just super, super aggressive.
Did BJ go into it with a trained background or just like a scrappy fighter? You know what I mean?
Well, he was very trained. You know, he's very technical, especially on the ground. He's really high level in his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, super technical.
And he was like that when he came into fighting?
Yeah, I don't know like when he started his striking out, but I know he got his black belt in Jiu-Jitsu in 3 years, which
fast,
is just
right?
Bananas fast.
Yeah.
Like 0.1% fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, for most people, like getting a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu is like if you're a real phenom, you can get it in like 7 years.
As a phenom?
Yeah. There's a few guys that'll get it earlier. You know, like if you have some particular talent physically, which seems like a lot of people equate martial arts, rightly so, with like technique is the most important thing. It absolutely is. But another thing that is almost as important as technique is physical dexterity of your body.
Yeah.
What you can do and what you can't do with your body. Some people are super flexible, like BJ. BJ's ridiculously flexible. And BJ would wrap guys up with his legs. His legs are like weapons. They're like arms.
Really?
So he chokes you with his arms, and he's choking you with his legs.
Yeah, wow.
He has incredible dexterity and flexibility with his legs. And that's always made BJ particularly dangerous on the ground. And he's just smart about fighting. He just is very good at understanding when to push things, when not to, like where he's, he just, he's just like with everybody. You fight a lot of tough fighters, you're going to have some losses.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what happened to BJ.
That's a fucking rough business, man.
It is a rough business.
God.
BJ's still fighting. Now he's going to fight this kid named Yair Rodriguez, who is a phenom. Have you ever seen that guy?
How long has BJ been fighting for?
I got to say, shit, he must have started his career in the early 2000s.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time to fight.
Well, he was, I would like to guess he probably started fighting somewhere around, well, let's find out.
2001 is his first
2001.
There you go.
fight here.
15 years of scrapping.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot, man.
Yeah, it's just when you see it live, you understand like really firsthand what the actual real consequences of these exchanges are.
Live for me was just also the excitement around it. There's, I mean, it's an arena of people so jacked, and for a fight, And you know, like I think you've said, like nothing in and of itself is as exciting as a fight. You know, like a fight in any moment is exciting, but when you have an arena full cheering with, you know, the excitement to add to that, there's something you can't duplicate, you know, on an energy level.
Right, the consequences are so high.
The consequences are high, but there's an energy in the room of somebody walking up and you hearing that, like that.
Yeah.
You know, it raises the hair on your neck, and you're like, oh God. And then with everything that lands, that cheering.
Yeah.
Whoa, man! It's you can't mimic that, you know.
No, yeah, it's. You know, I hate the phrase because we've said it for so long. You know, it's as real as it gets.
Yeah.
But it is just.
Yeah.
So you know what is it about a phrase when you say a phrase too long they just stop meaning anything?
People start to misuse phrases. I think, you know,
hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard.
Right.
But I know that's true, but I fucking hate it when people say it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, don't say it.
Say it too much.
Can't say it anymore.
I hate it.
That one's done, right?
It's a fucking terrible. Yeah.
But there's certain ones like as real as it gets, like done.
Yeah, I knew this guy who used to
I don't want to hear it anymore.
He used to say, "You gotta stop and smell the roses sometimes to talk about life."
Yeah.
But then he just started antidepressants, so I was like, "Oh, this is just like the medicine talking," because he was just always like, you know, and then you stop and you smell the roses, and we're like, "Yeah, no, you said that 3 times already."
Hey, let me ask you
Over
this,
and
dude,
over.
because you're in the middle of this wild. Looks like my voice is back. You're in the middle of this wild, crazy bet with Bert Kreischer to see who can lose the most weight by January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, right? You're going to weigh in 3 days in a row.
You gonna MC it?
Fuck yeah.
We're doing it at the Forum. You know that, right?
Fuck yeah. Where are you going to do it? What's the forum?
The Forum is the
Great Western Forum?
Yeah.
That's where the weigh-in's going to be?
That's what I was told. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think we'll do it. Can we do it here? Does that work?
We could weigh in here live on the air.
we can
We
do
could do that,
fine.
but if you want to do it live in front of a crowd.
We can do it anywhere. I don't.
Did you want you guys really want to do it live in front of a crowd?
No. That's
That's
totally
a joke.
That's a
Okay,
joke.
I was
Yeah,
like, man, you probably could do it.
yeah. I
Right?
mean,
We get a couple thousand people in the forum to see you guys in your underwear.
Forum. Can we? I'll do it if we can get a couple of those ring girls, but that look way different than those. I want really big ones, real heavy, but
Real
same
heavy
kind-
ring girls?
Yeah. Then I'll do it.
It's fat shaming though. You can't if you start using heavy
This
ring
whole
girls.
thing is fat shaming.
It doesn't matter. You're a guy.
That's true.
You could take it.
Yeah, you continue.
Like guys, you never accuse guys of fat shaming. This is how crazy that term is. Ronda Rousey, who's of course, you know,
Yes.
former UFC bantamweight champion,
Yes.
all-time great mixed martial artist. She has this girl, Juliana Pena, that is in her weight division, and they talk shit to each other, or at least Juliana's been talking shit about Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And Ronda Rousey, what she was saying was that Ronda Rousey has large arms. She said she has fat arms.
Really?
That was one of the things she was saying, which is like so innocuous.
Yeah.
And people were saying that she was fat shaming her. And I
Yeah.
went, well, are you really seriously,
But
first
it's-
of all, protecting Ronda fucking Rousey?
I think it's really more about that the lady that said it, that's to her such a horrible thing to say, you know?
But they're gonna fight is my point.
Yeah, but she's like
eventually maybe.
She's like, I might lose that fight. I don't have fat ass arms like you do. And that to her, she's like, I'll
that's
always
enough?
have these awesome arms.
Really?
I think, yeah, because I mean, somebody to go after that, like that's for her a big deal, you know.
Those.
But yeah, Ronda doesn't need any defense.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways.
even when Ronda's really thin, like she's like really thin
Dude,
now. She's
She looks
jacked.
amazing, of course.
But I mean, she's got muscles, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she's got some big ass shoulder muscles and big arm muscles.
Yeah.
There's a reason that they're not all fat.
No
Like, those
way.
fucking things are launching chicks through the air.
yeah, she's got plenty of muscle.
But my point was, they're proposing to fight in a fucking cage, and somehow or another, it's this unbelievable
Yeah.
outrage because she made fun of her arms being fat.
I know, right? They're
What
gonna
are we-
beat each other nearly to death.
What are we talking
You
about?
fucking fat ass.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, is that really like? You can insult people about their personality.
Yeah,
you can
people.
insult
The
people
fat
about
thing
their.
is
Yeah.
really. You know what it is too. First of all, I encourage fat shaming. I think it's helpful.
Do you, for real?
I really do. I think it's absolutely helpful.
Why do you think it's helpful? Because
it just depends on your psyche, I guess. You know how you respond to it. But I think it's just like somebody calling you out on your bullshit. It's just a version of that. It's a physical version of that. And a lot of people, you can be in denial. You know, I think a lot of people are in denial about a lot of things.
Well, a lot of people just want to live their lives too. To play devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people just want to live their lives, and they don't mind being heavy. And they don't like it when people are talking shit about something.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that person doesn't have a right to feel that way.
Right, but it's what I think some people have a problem with it is that there's certain people that didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
Everything they've done to themselves.
Yeah.
But if you're shitting on them, it's kind of it's an easy thing to do.
It is an easy thing to do, and you know, if you weren't so fat, nobody would talk about it. You know, so I mean, I've been called fat at so many different points. I've been up and down my whole life. So I think because of that, and when you get older, you have more acceptance with like not having a problem with somebody saying it. Plus, I'm a public figure in a lot of ways, right? So I'm used to people being like, fuck you and go fuck yourself. I hate your act. Stuff like that. So you're like, oh, okay. It's another version of that.
Yeah, like you're fat.
Yeah, and you're like,
fuck you. Same feeling.
If it's the same feeling, and I'm saying like I've gotten so much that has nothing to do with fat that somebody throws in fat, and you're like, yeah, okay, you know.
So weird.
I saw your special. I fucking hated it. And you're like, okay. Thanks.
Seriously disappointed, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously
disappointed.
disappointed.
You disappoint me.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone got
to
tell me that.
Me, bro.
You disappoint me.
Whoa.
All right.
Why did you disappoint this fella?
I mean, it was, you know, I was just like, I'm not going to engage you. So
it's bizarre when people do engage people. We were talking about this before the podcast. Philly D, you know, from the internet, from YouTube. Very nice guy. Philip DeFranco. We've had him on the podcast before. Super nice guy. He was going out with some chick. He tweeted something today. What was his original tweet? Was it about Kanye or something like that?
It was about Kanye visiting Trump, and he tweeted like Trump would tweet. You know,
oh, that's right. Right. He tweeted, can't wait to see Trump tweet after this. Met with Kanye West, tremendous American artist. Shame Jay won't call him. Pick up the phone. Sad! Exclamation point. Which is really fucking funny. That's really funny. And some woman got really mad, and look what she wrote. Mind your damn white business and stay out of black people's beef. You not a part of black Twitter. Stop stealing their tweeting style. And then I went to her page, and I think she's a troll.
maybe.
I think she's a troll.
Oh, really?
I think she's trolling. We don't have to give out her name or anything like that. Please don't get anybody excited. Maybe she's real. But maybe she just felt like shitting on him too. Who knows? Maybe she just felt like typing it and didn't think that he was going to respond. But he responded in a video.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, in one of his videos, he responded and talked about it. And I was like, wow, this is weird.
I love when people say like, you're not to comment on this story.
Right. Like, why not?
The best is that if you make any comment or joke about anything political, somebody who disagrees with that political position will go, we don't really need a comedian commenting on this. And you're like, oh, okay. What do you do? Are you you're the person qualified to talk about it?
Yeah. How's that work?
Yeah. So you work at the store, the factory, and you're allowed to comment on things? Oh,
Is that something that you would ever say to anybody? You're not allowed to comment on it?
Of course not.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely hate these fucking
white people adding their 2 cents to Kanye and Jay-Z saga, trying to get RT, shut your goddamn mouth, always butting in. Well, she got us to talk about her.
Yeah, good job.
I mean, this is the new world we're living in, man.
So you're not allowed to comment on that because it's black beef, she's saying.
Well, anybody telling you you're not allowed to comment on anything is crazy.
Yeah.
Says who?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I have talked to people. I have had the dumbest conversations with people who think their kung fu master could fight in the UFC, but everybody's scared of someone dying. If someone understands real chi, they're a real chi master. I've had these kind of conversations with people.
How much do people believe that kung fu?
A lot of people still do.
Where do you think it would fall on the scale of the martial arts ability to win major fights with highly trained people in either Like, where would Kung Fu fall?
Well, the problem with martial arts, all right, with individual martial arts.
Aikido's obviously at the top. Yes, but the problem is...
But the problem with individual martial arts like that is that they're no longer unaware of the tactics and abilities of other martial arts. So it used to be that if you were like a Taekwondo guy, like I was, you would have a delusional sense of how good you would do in a fight with a judo person.
Because you don't,
Because
aware.
nobody grabbed you before and threw you around. So you really have no idea how easy it would be for them to do it. You have this distorted idea in your head.
Yeah.
Now everybody
I'll just
knows.
fuck this guy up.
Yeah, now everybody knows. So now it's real hard to say, like, a Kung Fu guy. Like, if a Kung Fu guy fought a judo guy, who would win? Because there's no real only Kung Fu guys anymore, and there's no real only judo guys anymore. They all know about MMA.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. If you're a martial artist, especially you get to your black belt level or something like that, you're aware of other shit now. So you know what things, what's more effective now. Like, there's a better understanding of it than anyone's ever had before. So if you're like a high-level martial artist, even just a wrestler or something like that, I guarantee you most of them know something else.
Yeah.
They know how to throw their hands. They know how to throw a kick or two.
Right.
And if they got like a really good coach, they could probably get pretty good at striking pretty fucking quick.
Sure.
But striking is one of those weird things, man. It seems that it's really difficult for people to get really good at it if they don't have the right body for it and they start late in life. It's real weird.
Really?
Yeah. There's like, you can get better at it, but there's a certain amount of speed that you need to execute.
To really set up and knock somebody. Yeah.
There's a certain amount. Yeah. You can get by with a certain amount of speed against lesser competition. You can get by even more so if you are more of a threat as a wrestler. And you can get by even more so if you're really smart. You really understand when to engage, when not to engage, and you're threatened with the wrestling. You can get away with like having a slower striking style. But if you can't do those things, then you're a fucking sitting duck. And that's one of the most terrifying aspects of MMA.
Yeah.
One of the most terrifying aspects of MMA is being stuck in the middle of the cage with a guy like Anderson Silva in his prime, who's just sliding slightly out of the way of your shit and bam, cracking you in the face, and he's dancing around, and he's making the wobbly face like he's rocked to fuck with you, and then he kicks you and punches you. Yeah. Like, he's done some creepy shit to dudes inside the octagon. I mean creepy in a way that's like not negative. I mean so good. Yeah. Like, he's had these moments in fights where you just go, holy shit, it's creepy. Yeah. Like, you could get stuck in a cage with that dude. He just basically, if this was 1,000 years ago, it would be that he would be the king of the village, right? Like, just most likely. Well, the king of the village would be the biggest guy. Right. See, what we're doing is we're separating people by size. That's true. At the end of the day, like, you meet a guy like Brock Lesnar, you go, oh, well, that's why there's a heavyweight division. Right. Like, that's a totally different kind of human. How many guys like that can actually, and I'm talking about Brock specifically, but that are like 285? Can move like him? Well, no, that can keep a body like that without anything additional. Like, in other words, that's a super good question, and it's not an honest question. The problem is people are real dishonest about what they take and what they don't take. Yeah. It's weird because there's people that will argue with you. They'll say that there's only so big a person can ever get and be so fast without help. Right. But then you got to say, but their understanding of recovery is way better today than ever before. Like, their understanding of like when to train, when not to train, when you're overtrained. Like, if you're at a real high level place, they're gonna, like, they're grooming you to be an NFL player or something like that. They're gonna give you some pretty high level instruction and coaching. And if you're eating right, you're gonna have definitely a jump over people that were in your same sort of position 20 years ago, right? Right. So the athletes are going to be better just because of the science of training. Sure. But after that, you got to wonder. I mean, it's not like they don't know about them. No, of course. they all know about steroids. So easy to get. Yeah. It's not like they don't know about them, and it's not like they don't know they help. And these dudes, like some of the guys are definitely fat, right? But some of these guys are like, they're so like, you're like, dude, you're walking around like at like a healthy 310. Well, I think some of them, honestly, are probably a bit big on purpose too, like linemen, right? Right. I mean, definitely. You want to feed them. Yeah, you want to be a giant. You want to be a giant monster. Yeah, they're monsters. You don't want to be shredded. No. You want to just weigh a lot, smashing into people. Yeah, I think. The fuck do I know? I know almost nothing about football.
You're totally right.
People
man.
say football players' names, and I have to nod like a person from
really?
another country.
Like, yeah.
Like if someone's speaking to me in another language, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that
football
about a
guy.
bunch of sports though too. I'm like, I got you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
But I wear hats a lot, especially I travel with. I used to like having a hat on a plane. Pull over, and I have like 10 different teams, and guys will bore, and they're like, "Did you see Douglas last night?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "The game," and I realize it's the hat, and I'm like, "I missed it." And he's like, "Fuck, shut him out." I'm like, "Fucking killer, man."
You don't even know who that guy is.
No, I have no idea what he's talking about. Yeah, yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, now there's so many UFC fighters. There's like 500 UFC fighters. Occasionally, like I gotta look people up.
Sure.
Like someone will mention someone. I'm like, who did he fight? And they'll fight. He fought that guy. I'm like, when? And they're like, it's 4 fight nights ago. I'm like, undercard? When was on undercard? Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll have to like put it in my.
Super big.
It's too many fights. You can't keep up.
How massive has it gotten? Just in the time that I've known or been to UFC stuff, the fight game has exploded in popularity.
It seems like it all took off from this one fight in 2005 between Stephan Bonner and Forrest Griffin. That was like the big one because it was the end of the final of this first reality show, The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, right.
They had this crazy fight in the finals. And these guys knew each other real well, and they actually liked each other a lot. But they fucking went at it. They just both went at it.
It changed the game.
Both guys fought Anderson Silva, too,
Oh, wow.
later in their career.
They both,
They both got fucked up.
yeah.
It was when Anderson was just a Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
He was just doing shit to people inside the octagon. Where you're like, oh, Jesus.
How was that that one fight with him?
Which one?
I think was it the Weidman one?
Oh, when he broke his leg? Or when he got knocked out?
I think when he got knocked out. I think
out.
I was at that.
Probably. You've been to a ton
I've
of
been
them.
to a bunch of them now.
Yeah. That one was crazy because he was winning that fight.
If I didn't go to that one, I definitely I've seen both of those guys fight at fights. So I can't remember if I saw that fight or not.
Weidman was pressing him, but Anderson was kicking him a lot in the legs.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I was like, ooh, like he's kicking his legs a lot.
And he did a lot of crazy taunting.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
But you know what? Weidman did something really slick. It was really interesting. He threw a back fist. He threw a punch, and then he threw a back fist. Because Anderson was going like, he was bobbing and weaving and like moving away from him. So he figures if the right's coming, then the left's coming. So he throws a punch, misses, and then throws a back fist, which makes Anderson have to go that way.
Right.
So then when he starts going that way, the other way, bang, he catches him with a left hook.
Oof.
It's a beautiful combination.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful combination with a guy who moves his head a lot because you force him because you're not just throwing one in that direction, you're throwing a second one so he's going that way.
Yeah.
Which is like when you throw a left hook.
Yeah.
He's going that way. So he's already going the way to avoid the left hook. He's got to come back.
And when he comes
back, boom.
Yeah.
He catches him perfect. It was brilliant.
Yes,
Beautiful timing.
It was the setup before the fucking blow, too.
Well, he looked a little slower than Anderson, so he was having a hard time catching him. And Anderson was staying on the outside and kicking his legs a lot. But they had collided in the first round, and he took Anderson down and wrapped one of his legs up and had him pretty tight.
Yeah.
Looked like he might be getting a leg lock or attempting a leg lock, and Anderson got out of it.
Isn't that the fight, too, where after the fight, where Weidman was like, make your decision now. You're either on board or you're not. I think there was...
No, that was another fight.
That was another fight?
That was another fight, yeah.
Or
I think that was after Vitor, I think, after he beat up Vitor.
He's like, pick your... Like,
yeah, I was like,
get
whoa.
on board.
I was like, damn, Chris.
You've had up to now to decide. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He takes a loss like a fucking champ. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
He lost to Yoel Romero by knockout. Then he was sitting on the dais answering questions later with his eye all stitched up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a stud.
You know what fight I was
That's
at?
hard to do, man.
Oh, I bet, man.
Get KO'd and then just answer questions with stitches over your eye and you're talking to press people.
Oh, I've seen some guys real fucked up at...
Perfect composure, though. You handled it perfectly.
I was at that Gustafson-John Jones fight where I think they both went to the hospital. It was brutal.
Damn.
Brutal fight. Where it was a decision fight, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like they just massacred each other. They just beat the shit out of each other.
That was a crazy fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fight where John was talking about it when he was on the podcast. He was talking about how much he partied
After
that fight.
Oh,
before the fight.
Before that.
Yeah, he was partying a lot.
Wow. Yeah, it was an incredible fight. I just remember how bloodied those guys were.
Yeah, it was a rough fight. And Gustafsson shocked a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the crowd. You could feel the crowd swell.
What I always call MMA, this is the phrase I use all the time, so maybe it'll start getting annoying too. It's like extreme problem solving with dire physical consequences. That's why it's plus shit talking.
Right.
Throw in that too.
High stakes, talking shit.
Yeah, high stakes. There's an emotions battle, whether or not you can keep your emotions, how well you handle pressure. It's giant.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about Conor McGregor. More than anything. We shouldn't say more than anything. It's one of many things about him that's pretty interesting. But one of the most interesting things about him is he handles pressure like nobody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like when he fought Aldo for the title, he didn't even look remotely nervous. He was super relaxed, super calm.
Well, then you start to think, though, that you go, how much of what you're seeing is how pressure is manifested through that guy? You know what I mean? Like, for instance, the press conference kind of antics. You're like, is that genuine? Is that an act? Is that how he handles the pressure of this high pressure situation by doing a fucking, bang bang show at the thing? So like it, but I personally, I find the guy, which is I think what you want, why someone becomes a star, endlessly entertaining on top of being good. So I'm tuning in too. I want to see the fucking show.
He's the best shit talker of all time. I know I've said that before about other people.
Yeah.
Before that, I said Chael Sonnen was the best shit talker of all time, and I think he was for a while. But I think Conor tops him. Yeah. And all of a sudden, also as well, Conor has an additional significance to his shit talking because he knocks people dead.
Right.
It's a totally different thing. And Chael Sonnen, not that he's not a fucking animal, because Chael Sonnen's an animal, and he submitted Shogun Rua. Chael Sonnen's a very solid grappler.
Sure. Came
very close to beating Anderson Silva in their first fight. So he's a stud. But what Conor does differently is he ices guys with one punch. And that's a big factor in a fight when you're watching him and he fights Eddie Alvarez. And all of a sudden he dings him with a left hand and catches him and rocks him early on. You go, holy shit. And you realize, like, he's fighting a guy now at 155 pounds. And Eddie Alvarez is a big 155. He's a big guy, big muscular guy.
Yeah.
The idea is he's going to be able to wrestle Conor. He's going to be able to grab him and grind him out the same way he did with Anthony Pettis. Nope. Dealing with a totally different animal.
Yeah.
Conor's just got a totally different kind of focus as far as like the way he zooms in on targets.
Yeah.
And his precision, it's just speed. He's just dropping it in there with 100% speed. Like, that's a big part of what he's doing. He's not loading up at all.
Yeah.
And the ability to stay, like, when you load up, say, like, if you see someone coming at you and you just go, like, all that's wasted time.
Yeah.
All that's wasted time. What Conor has is the ability to be perfectly technical in a firefight. So, like, Aldo's charging at him. This is like 13 seconds into the fight. Aldo's charging at him. And he knows how to just slide back and blam, drops that left hand in on him.
Is the striking the strongest part of his?
Yes, for sure. His ground game is underrated. He's very good on the ground. He's very good defensively. He's got good sweeps. He sweeped Nate Diaz in their first fight. People forget that.
He's the kind of guy. How much would you love to watch before he was a professional?
I did watch him. Well, not before he was professional.
Bar fights, though.
Oh, Jesus.
Because he's been in some definite scraps in bars before.
I don't even think you're allowed to, like, get 18 in Ireland if you haven't been in a bar fight yet.
Yeah, man.
Like, we're going out tonight, lad. Put a pop in your cherry. That's probably the worst accent ever. Probably right up there. But I saw him fight in. I guess he was fighting in Cage Warriors. I tweeted to him in like 2013 before he came to the UFC. I said, "I'm a big fan, man.
Yeah,
I want you to come over."
And did he?
Yeah, I mean, like right after that, the UFC and him totally coincidentally. I didn't call. I mean, I definitely probably told anybody who listened to me about him.
Yeah.
Because I had seen him fight before. I'm like, this kid ices people.
Yeah.
His left hand is just devastating, and he's got a crazy style. He fights in his like wide stance, and he moves different, and he cracks guys. I'm like, this kid's legit. I'd like to see him in the UFC.
I never asked you.
There it is. Yeah. That's January of 2013. So it was almost 4 years ago.
Did you think of? I never talked to you about. What did you think of all the the talks of him Floyd Mayweather fight? Did you just
He'll fight him. I guarantee you he would fight him.
Do you think what kind of match do you think that?
Well,
would
he's
be?
a lot bigger than Floyd. First of all, let's just emphasize that.
Yeah.
He's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So it'd be a real problem as far as like weight cutting. Because if they let Conor fight it wherever he wants, Conor's going to weigh somewhere around 170 pounds.
Right.
That's what he's at his best, like in his optimum with no weight cutting.
Yeah.
I don't think Floyd's that big. I think Floyd, I guarantee you he's probably not more than 160. Do you think Floyd's bigger than 160 in real life?
Small dude.
He's a small guy.
Yeah.
Like, even in person, he's really like short. Doesn't mean weight, but he's small.
What weight did he begin his career at? Floyd Mayweather is I'm a huge Floyd Mayweather fan,
Dude,
and I
he's a
think
bad
when it comes to
man.
boxing, I think he's like one of the most skillful boxers that's ever lived. I really do.
Technical,
if not the
shit.
most.
Listed at 150.
150, but that's probably what he last fought at. Like, didn't he make when he fought Canelo? Didn't he make him come down a bit? He made him come down to like 154 or something like that.
That sounds right.
Something like that.
That sounds right.
They had some sort of a catch weight fight. I remember.
Huh.
And Canelo's fighting at what? He's fighting at 160 now?
He's definitely bigger.
Or is he fighting at 154? Gennady Golovkin is 160, right? Is that the holdup? Is the two of them? Because I feel like Canelo's been fighting middleweight too. Like he fought Cotto. What was that at? Wasn't that at middleweight or 154?
Alvarez fight, Alvarez catchweight 152.
152. Okay. Yeah. So he made Canelo lose some weight. Because Canelo's a lot bigger than him.
Yeah.
So Canelo probably walks around maybe 20 pounds heavier than that.
That's a bad motherfucker too.
Ooh, he's good.
Yeah.
And Floyd Mayweather just boxed him up.
Yeah.
What? I'm not there. I'm here. Plop. Oh, look at that. Just beautiful technique.
That's the thing you have to
defensively.
wonder. Would Conor's skills, just technical skills, match up to somebody like the counter defense? You know.
I can't imagine they
Yeah,
would,
I
unless
don't think
Mayweather's so out of shape.
Yeah, him. I'm saying on top of his game.
Yeah, him on top of his game, you're not going to hit him. He's going to know. I mean, you have to be really top level to catch him.
It's so nuts that dude is so fast that he boxes like something that no boxers does with his lead hand down.
Yeah.
Not even hip level, mid thigh sometimes.
Well, it's because
Like, that's how I'm
that forces his shoulder over. It's actually an easier way to block a lot of things if you're skillful with it.
You
that
gotta be
shoulder
so
roll.
quick.
Yeah, you got to be. It's not just quick, and he's definitely quick. He's very quick. But what Floyd has over like almost anyone else, he's got this incredible knowledge of what you're going to do before you do it. Like he knows so much about boxing as a science from his brother, or his father rather, and his uncle.
His uncle, yeah.
His uncle's Roger Mayweather, who's a Black Mamba, who's an all-time fucking exciting guy to watch in like the 80s and 90s. He would starch people, man.
Dude, him on those HBO shows, they've never had a better comedy than Roger Mayweather moments. It's the greatest.
Oh, you mean in between corners?
No, when they used to do the
those
lead up to
24/7s?
yes, 24/7.
Yeah.
He would fucking massacre those. Like the funniest shit I've ever seen. And they edited him so fucking funny. One of those fights they were fighting, maybe it was Alvarez or somebody, and Alvarez was like, "We got to prepare for Floyd. I'm gonna watch his fights," and and I know I'm just gonna have the fight of my life on my hands. And then they cut to to Roger Mayweather, and he goes, "Who the fuck is Alvarez?" And then they just cut out. like he would pretend he doesn't even know who the guy is. But that really was. Do you know that was a big part of the preparation for? I don't know if in the end it was, but for a long time, when they would go like, "How are you preparing for this fighter?" His answer and their legit answer was like, "They have to prepare for this shit."
Right.
Like,
yeah.
We're not preparing for anything. He better prepare a lot, you know? And that's how they would approach it. Like, we're not studying you. You need to study this shit right now because it's going to be bad what happens to you.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. You know, Floyd's an interesting guy. He's had his hands broken a bunch of times.
Yeah. There's been rumors about, like, fights that he must have had a broken hand in.
Oh, he has had hands that were broken, and he still boxed.
What does that feel like?
So he's just got a winner's mentality. You know, you can talk all the shit you want about that guy because it's fun to talk shit about him because he created this persona,
Absurd.
Money Mayweather. But it's brilliant. It's a brilliant thing. What he did is brilliant. He created like someone to hate.
Yeah.
But is so talented you can't beat him.
And you're buying that pay-per-view, which is exactly what he wants.
You're hoping Canelo, please Canelo.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're hoping Canelo can catch him.
Nope.
They're hoping Pacquiao could catch him.
Everyone. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It's
they're
the guy that he created a villain.
Keep going down the line. Every fucking guy he's fought, please catch him. Maybe, you saw what Juan Manuel Marquez, he had a tough fight with Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Shuts him down.
Over and then he'd be like, I got 100 watches, man. And then that
Shuts them all down.
People, like, they really fucking... I don't hate at all. I think that it's... sometimes that persona can just get kind of boring.
It's fun.
It's fun, but
smart.
I'm like, all right, man. Just I'm saying, like, Instagram, he's like, look at all this money on my bed. And then he'll be like, you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to count it. And then it's
That's
just
hilarious.
like that. It's funny. It's entertaining. But it is like one note.
He used
too.
to hold like bricks of money up to his ear
Absolutely.
like a phone, pretend
Oh,
he's
yeah.
talking on the money.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Cars. Like, I got
Ridiculous.
50 cars.
They're
man.
all white too.
Yeah.
He's got like Bugattis and shit. And
He's like,
Bentleys
this
and
one they made
Rollses.
3 of it. Me.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
What is that? $100 million that he got?
Yeah.
From what?
It was his purse from one of his fights. He's like,
That he was
my
a promoter on.
God,
Yeah.
that is so
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
He made $100 million.
Yeah.
This is where hippies start going crazy about income inequality.
This is there's the sentence. Look at this. He goes, "This is just one of my many checks."
Gotta love these backseat drivers. So worried about, hey, let's go. Hold on, where you going?
Yeah.
Gotta love these backseat drivers so worried about another man's legacy instead of trying to write their own. Ultimately, I will always have the last laugh. This is just one of many checks, a cool $100 million that I still have every dime of. Y'all still have to work, however. I'm happily retired. At the end of the day, it's them Benjamin Franklins that matter to me. So the joke's on you. I've made smart investments. Sorry for those who thought that I couldn't read, write, or count.
Here we go.
Y'all call them watches, I call them timepieces. Y'all call them boats, I call them yachts. Y'all call them houses, I call them mansions. What does that mean? Y'all charter jets, and we own jets. The money team.
There you go.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got it.
I think he's rich.
I think he definitely has money. I think so.
He's made a lot of fucking money. That's for
He has,
goddamn
dude.
sure.
He's excellent at what he does, for sure, across the board.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But he's also, it's
And we left out
it's
that
funny.
he's 49-0.
Yeah, 49-0.
Yeah.
And he's the only guy. He hasn't broken Rocky Marciano's record yet.
Right.
He's tied it, which
Right.
is really interesting. Like, I wonder if that's on purpose. I wonder if he doesn't want to break it.
Well, I think
Doesn't want
to
people
him,
talking shit about him.
the pressure of it going away is the thing that happens. Like as the older you get, like you know what I mean. This is a good boxing retirement age for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do you want to do 50? Yes. Well, it's got to be a meaningful 50. You can't fight
Right.
some scrub for 50, and then you start to think about, oh fuck, like
Yeah, if he was going to fight Pacquiao again, I wonder what kind of, I'm sort of out of the loop. I wonder what kind of numbers Pacquiao gets on his fights now. If like a lot of people are watching.
I'm sure he still
The
does
last
pretty
one?
well. I think
But he just fought.
he did just fight. Yeah.
I didn't hear any peep about it.
Yeah, but who was he fighting? Then maybe that's why. you
Yeah.
know? He still does. I mean, it's got to be significant numbers still.
Yeah, he must, right?
Yeah,
So that's
he's a
still
big star.
a big, worthwhile fight.
Oh yeah, he's got a big bankroll. Payroll.
Pacquiao?
Like apparently,
Look at this. Pacquiao Vargas fight surpassed 300,000 pay-per-view buys. Is Pacquiao Mayweather 2 possible? That's decent. Those are decent pay-per-view buys. 300,000. That's pretty good.
what do
And
the big fights, like big MMA fights, get?
I didn't. The big ones are over $1 million.
Oh really?
I think probably the UFC. I don't know if it's been released yet. What UFC 200 got, or UFC 205. Either one of those. Madison Square Garden was a pretty fucking substantial card.
Yeah.
I would imagine the numbers of that would have been insane. And it was a Conor McGregor card. I would
Yeah,
have
that
to
was
think
nuts.
that that's the biggest card ever.
Ever?
In terms of pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
I would imagine, but I could be wrong because the 200 had Brock Lesnar in it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That's right. And that ended badly a few days later too, right? Wasn't there a couple?
It
of
wasn't
big-
badly, bro.
Well,
It was just steroids.
Just
bro.
it does.
Something got in his fruit punch, bro.
I drink a lot of fruit, bruh.
Yeah, you never know, man. Tainted supplements.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Sure.
You know, can a guy get that big without some help? I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. But I know those GNC stores, they do really well. They sell a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You can go to those places.
They sell a lot of stuff, man.
Any of those bodybuilding supplement stores, you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that works. Like there's a reason why people buy that stuff. but some of it has fucking steroids in it. And that's why it's working.
And they legit get away with that, huh?
Well, they just don't tell you what it is.
Do you remember
weird, man.
Like 15 years ago, one of the first big, I forget the product name or I would say it. It was like the big, like everyone does this to work out and to lose weight. I forget, it's like it had a big commercial. It was a successful name for the product. And then people just started to drop, like people would die. And then when it became
how many years ago are you talking about?
I think it's about 15 to 20.
So you're talking about Rip Fuel?
One of those.
Ephedrine, right?
Right, but
or ephedrine, rather.
Ephedrine.
Yeah,
and then
right?
people were. I remember I was taking them 20 some years ago.
I thought you were going to say 20 a day.
No,
I almost had a heart attack.
But then somebody's like, "Oh, you're taking speed," and you're like, "Oh," and it took a while to process that really was one of the key components of what you were taking. Like, you're taking drugs right now, man.
You're taking speed, son.
Yeah, you're taking speed, and you could feel yourself get geeked out.
Yeah,
heart racing.
I took a couple of those and went to jiu-jitsu class once when I was like a white belt, and I almost had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, the heart racing.
Like, oh my God, I had to stop. I had to sit down. I was like, what did I do?
Yeah.
So I was young. So I was just starting in jiu-jitsu, and it wasn't like, I knew what it felt like to roll, but when you take those, I knew something was like totally wrong.
Yeah.
It's like I had been exhausted before. I know what that felt like.
Yeah.
I got exhausted way too quick.
Yeah.
My heart was about to explode in my fucking chest. I was like, holy shit, I got to sit down.
Yeah.
Like, even being like, whatever I was, 30 or whatever, 29 or something like that, I still was smart enough to realize this is a stupid idea and I got to sit down.
Yeah.
Because back then I was really dumb.
I took him in before a high school football game. Yeah. But the thing is that we had the conversation before. They're like, you're going to fuck people up because of this. So you have the illusion of what's going on.
Well, maybe that would work, though, with football, because football is not something you would do where you struggle for long periods of time.
Right.
And you get,
it's like 5 second plays.
Jiu-jitsu gets super exhausting.
Sure.
Because, like, say if you have sparring rounds, they might be 7 minutes long. Sometimes people do 9 minutes.
Yeah, it sounds really
7 minutes was pretty standard. And so we would set a timer for 7 minutes, and then you're basically just going at it with someone who is probably pretty fucking skillful.
Yeah.
You
so you feel like you're going to die.
Yeah, you feel like I felt like my heart was literally going to explode.
Yeah.
Like something's wrong.
Right.
Like it was like, dude, we're going way too fast right now for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
And then like, man, I got to sit down. And then my heart wouldn't stop. It wouldn't slow down.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, like, normally when you work out, you have like, say if you run up a hill, you put your fingers on your pulse and you can sit there, and in a few seconds you feel them start to drop, and you look down at your watch, and when you get to like 140-ish, you can just start sprinting again, right? That's what most people like to do.
Sure.
When you're doing like interval workouts. I knew I was way over that, and I wasn't coming down. I was like, this is not slowing down. Like this is fucked.
And you knew it's what you took.
I know. I took a bunch. I'm a fucking retard.
Yeah.
I'm such an extremist. If it says like take 2, I'm like, that's 2 for pussies, so I'll take 4.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially then. I was
that
so
shit.
stupid.
Yeah.
Man, because yeah. Well, it was like doing the competitive martial arts thing when I was young made me like this intense extremist.
Sure.
Like, okay, everybody's running 2 miles. I'm running 5. You know, everybody's doing this. I'm doing more.
Was that how you do it?
You had to.
Really?
There's no other way.
Fuck,
if you want to beat people,
yeah,
you have to work harder than them.
Sure.
You can't just rely on what you're smarter than them. How do you know you're smarter than them? They're probably pretty fucking smart.
Right.
What are you tougher than them? They're tough.
Yeah.
They're all fucking black belts. They're tough. Like, don't be stupid. Like, my thought was, don't think so highly of yourself that you don't have to outwork everybody.
Wow, that's good, man.
There's no other way.
That's a good philosophy.
And you can't take days off. Days off if you're hurt or if you're sore, but you can't fuck off. Fucking off is bad for your brain.
It's yeah.
Like if you have, if you're like competing
Yeah.
or you're trying to go for something like physically,
Yeah.
the problem with fucking off is that it messes with your momentum. It's not just that it messes with your skills, because sometimes you legitimately go, you know what, my body needs a break.
Yeah.
But you know your body needs a break, so you make a conscious decision. But when you're supposed to work out, you know you should work out, and you fuck off, you just, like, your opinion of yourself slips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has an effect that goes out beyond just that workout.
Yeah, it fucks with your confidence because it fucks with your conviction.
It's why taking care of little things can bleed into taking care of more. You know what I mean? Like when you like pick up and clean up your room, you know, or your car.
Yeah.
You're like, now I feel good about the way this looks. that translate. I'm gonna go work out today, and then I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna do like those things kind of line up together.
Yeah, Musashi had some quote about that I just screenshotted the other day, like a 15-year-old girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I'm one of those screenshot guys. Don't if you like read? Here it is.
Yeah.
Because it's just so interesting. To approach the approach to combat and everyday life should be the same.
That's
the approach to combat and everyday life should be the same. That's intense.
That's intense, yeah.
It was a little too intense.
I have a real interesting one on my Instagram. I don't know if you can pull it up.
Is that the guy who touched a girl for the first time? That video?
No, but it is a lady with. It's a holiday one, but it's interesting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that guy that touched a girl? Did you get permission to put him on your?
No.
I should probably take
I
it
just.
down.
I
I should probably take down that one that you made me put up.
The Christmas one?
Yeah. That one's pretty interesting.
The one where the one that you when you ho it up for Xmas.
But I mean, it's interesting. Watch it.
Okay. What are you doing to me? Shut this off. Shut this off. What is wrong with you, Tom? You and your wife, first of all, you're both fucking hilarious. But you guys are both so specific.
Yeah.
You guys have the funniest, silliest fucking show. Because you're both so specific.
Thanks, yeah.
Like the things that you just decide, like you're wearing a shirt. Tom's wearing a shirt that says just glassin' on it.
I'm just glassing, bro.
Now, glassin' is a term that like hunters use when they get up on a ridge and they look for things.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, well, that's weird. Like, what did you, I thought maybe you bought that in some convenience store when you were in Alaska.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
This would be a silly gimmicky shirt to it. But no, this is a shirt like from your fucking podcast.
It is, yeah. It's
Tell the story. Because it's so silly.
Every week we get submitted hundreds of emails with links to videos like that, right? Like,
right.
I mean, so many emails. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? And the internet's this endless pool of stuff to pull from. And then we have our producer, Blue Band. I don't know if you know that. That's our producer's name.
Blue Band?
Yeah, because it used to be Red Band.
There was a Yellow Band for a while.
And now there's Blue Band. So Blue Band then will go through a lot of this stuff and edit down, let's say, like a 5-minute YouTube video into like maybe 6, 10 to 15 second clips. And so we're just always looking at stuff, and it's, we like a range of things are engaging to us. Well, we got this hunter. His name is Fred Eichler, I think.
Yeah.
And he's an avid bow hunter.
He hunts with a traditional bow, like a recurve bow.
So that's right. One of the most preeminent recurve bow hunters.
Yeah,
right?
it's either a recurve bow or it might be a stick bow.
What is the difference between a recurve bow versus like what you...
Power,
accuracy,
efficiency, technology.
Yours is more modern.
Yeah, but in his side, feel. There's like a feel, and if you get really good with one of those things, it becomes apparently very addicted to shoot, because like people who like recurves, they like shooting at targets. It's an instinctive thing.
Okay.
So you have to shoot a bunch of arrows to kind of know where the arrow is going.
Go. Okay.
And you shoot differently too, because you don't really hold it very long. You kind of draw it back, and then they let it go pretty quickly.
Sure.
Whereas a compound bow, the whole idea of a compound bow is there's an extreme amount of force that's exhibited in the beginning, or it's expressed through the cams and through the limbs. But then as a cam turns over, it gets easier because of leverage. So I don't understand.
So the resistance
I'm a retard.
starts when you kind of start.
The beginning, there's massive resistance.
Yeah.
And then there's a big let off at the end.
Right.
So like my bow takes 84 pounds to pull back. But at the end of it, it's easy to hold.
And what's the difference? His would go hard the whole way?
His is hard the whole way.
The whole way.
However hard it is, it's hard the whole way. And it actually gets more difficult as you pull back instead of less difficult.
Wow.
So it's the opposite of a compound bow. So the compound bow, it's difficult to pull in the beginning, and then the cams settle in. Oops. The cams settle in. It's beautiful. You can just hold it there. Like if you're waiting on something, you could hold it there. But it's just super hard to hold one of those stick bows, because you're pulling like really. The end of it is as hard as you can get it, and it's basically. It pulls back and forth depending upon like how much pressure you put on it. You can pull it more if you're stronger.
Yeah.
Or if you're weaker, you can only get to a certain point.
It sounds like you have to train to shoot with this thing.
Well, it depends on most of the time no, because most of them are fairly weak. But like you can make them like really powerful. You can make them is, I mean, if you had a recurve bow in particular, like the Mongols, apparently, according to Dan Carlin, that hardcore history guy, who's awesome, he said their bows were 160 pounds to pull back.
Whoa.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like doing, that's so, like, it's, what you're essentially doing is, you're doing like an 80-pound push and an 80-pound pull.
That's a
at
lot.
the same time. It's a lot.
Yeah.
To be able to do that a lot of times in a row, it's way harder than doing that with a compound bow. Because a compound bow is just a little difficult and then easy.
And this is who would have these 160-pound ones?
The Mongols did.
The Mongols.
This is 1200s, somewhere around then. That was technology back then because they figured out what a recurve bow is. This crazy bow that the way it's designed, if you see a recurve bow that's not strung, it doesn't even look like it would work.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen what they look like?
I saw it in this guy's video. Yeah.
Yeah, this Fred Eichler guy probably, I don't even think he had a recurve bow.
On this hunt?
No, I think he shoots with what they call a stick bow, which is the most primitive
I
kind.
think I read in his bio, recurve.
Could be a recurve. I bet he's got a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
Hoyt Buffalo bow recurve. Is that what he shoots?
I think so. Yeah.
With? Okay. See if you can show a picture of one without the string. Because they're so weird looking. Or you know what? Just see if you could find a picture of the Mongol bows. Because those are the first ones, I think, somewhere in that time of the world was the first ones when people had figured out how to make a recurve bow. See, that's what the top what looks like without the string. And it's going to go back to the shape where you see on the bottom.
Right.
Like in the same position. See where it is? So it's totally bent the other way. So because of that, it stores up all this extra energy because it's you're pulling so far back.
Yeah.
And it has this tremendous snapping effect when you let go of the string. It's pretty dope. They're incredibly smart for figuring this out. And then to make them unbelievably tough. See, that's what it looks like unstrung. Yeah. And make them so tough that you can pull it all the way back the other way. Like, they had to figure this shit out.
So
they had to use a bunch of different
force
materials.
that comes out with.
Incredible force.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still not as fast as probably a modern-day compound bow.
Yeah.
And also not that consistent because they didn't have scales.
Got to be a lot of
their
accidents,
arrows,
too.
Yeah. The arrows were all probably very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're making your own broadheads. Some of them might be a little heavier than others.
It's not a factory mass producing them.
Yeah, now they're making arrows out of, like, aluminum and carbon fiber cores. And they have, like, a very, like, you buy these arrows from, like, Easton or one of, like, the top-level companies that make arrows. They have, like, the super high tolerance levels for, like, each one of the arrows that leaves their factory. They're super straight. They spin them and shit and make sure that everything's good.
Yeah, no, it's incredible how that technology evolved. But
yeah, so there's a lot of these guys, like this guy you're talking about, the glassing guy. He still uses like one of those primitive bows, but he's just so good he can get away with it.
It says, I mean, his bio is incredible, but in this video, it starts with him. He shoots a moose, and it drops quick, and he fucking comes close to coming in his pants, right? Like he makes a sound that you can't. He goes like he's.
Can you show it to us?
Yeah.
But are you allowed to play it online? Did you get pulled from anything?
No.
From playing it on YouTube?
No. And we also play. I mean, the audio is what's incredible. But then he starts talking about glassing, and he's like, "We were just coming around the meadow. We were just glassing, and then we were like, let's glass. And he keeps going, glass, and glass, which is looking through binoculars, which we discovered. But then we played it so much, people, like, I would post a picture of myself, like, I'm about to go on stage, and they're like, are you glassing? And, like, or, like, if you talk to somebody, like, what'd you do today? I'm like, oh, I hung out. And they're like, glassing? And you're like, yeah. So then it morphed into meaning, like, just chilling. Yeah. And I don't know, it just kind of, it picked up from there. So.
You guys have so many of these, though. I always have to ask you, okay, what's the deal with jeans?
Yeah.
Like,
I know, it's so stupid.
Everybody's calling everybody jeans. Like, when you guys were on and you had to explain it to me, it was fucking hilarious.
Do you know what the latest thing is with that?
No.
First, we had an electrician over at the house, and whenever you're in the house, you call to your spouse. I'd be like, Jeans, do you know? Because that's what I call her. So then she walked down the stairs, and he goes, Jean, would you like me to put the... and we just let it go. So we called her Jeans. But then we started going to Starbucks and ordering our drinks. This is just like a stupid thing, like that we told our listeners we do. We do this regularly just to amuse ourselves, which is we'll call them Jeans and then say, thank you, Mommy, or I love you, Mommy, at the end. And no one ever... the order happens so fast and it's so like programmed that they never catch. They never say like, "What did you say?" So like when I pull up, like, "Welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you?" I'll be like, "Hey, Jeans, I want to get an iced coffee, extra ice, and what do you want? A double tall soy latte." "Okay, that'll be a $6.70." I'm like, "Thanks, mommy," and then I just pull up. So we told them we did that. People sent us videos of them doing it. Fucking hilarious. Like a guy like getting his, he was talking to a bill pay place, and he's like, "Hey, mommy, I don't understand what this bill means." And the other guy's like, "Yeah, so that first section, like they don't even address that you're calling someone mommy or Jeans or saying thank you, mommy, or I love you, mommy." They're like, "Okay, have a good day." Like they just, it speaks more to almost how pre-programmed customer service becomes, you know?
Yeah.
They're not even acknowledging that you're saying something ridiculous to them.
No, they're not. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But also, like, what do you say when someone says something like that to you? You probably, like, you're so scrambled.
I think so, yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
You're like,
it
what?
started off not making any sense, but then it picked up and made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like, well, clearly you can talk English.
Right.
And then it gets to the end and it calls you mommy. And you're like, whoa, what happened?
One time we called the Renaissance in Cincinnati.
The hotel?
The hotel, because the year before, a few months before my son was born, we were there for a wedding. And Christina had like a 30-second fart. So she was very pregnant. We came back and we talked about it, and we decided it deserved its own name, so it's called the Cincinnati Fart.
Oh, Jesus.
And we figured out what room number we were in, and we called the hotel, and I go, the lady goes, like, "Can I help you?" I go, "I want to book, I want to stay there, but I want to commemorate the Cincinnati Fart." And she goes, "I'm sorry, what was that?" And I go, "I want to stay in this room. I think it's room 618 because the Cincinnati Fart happened there." And she goes, "I'm just having a little trouble. What was that?" She goes, "The what?" And I'm like, "The Cincinnati Fart." And she's like, "Can you spell it for me?" And I go, "Yeah, F-A-R-T." And she stayed professional. Like, she was like, "Oh, okay. I'll look at it. I'll see what I can do."
She has to.
Yeah, she didn't.
They probably have cameras on you.
Yeah,
Organ
she
the
stayed,
Renaissance.
Yeah.
You can't go, "What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you wasting my time?"
Well, I did have a flooring guy. I go, "Can you do this floor for me?" And he's like, "Oh, I can send you some samples." And I go, "Great." And he goes, "Who do I send it to?" I go, "It's your mom's house." And he was like, "What was that?" And I go, "Your mom's house?" He goes, "My mom's house." I go, "No, that's the name of our company. Your mom's house." And I go, "Yeah." And he was like, "All right, you have a good day." And he hung up the phone. And I go, "Okay." Like, I wasn't trying to, for him it was a totally normal, I wasn't trying to be funny. I go, "No, that's the name of the company."
He didn't want to listen.
He was like, okay, you have a good day. Like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I go, okay.
Did you try? You let him hang, though. You should have said, "It's actually the name of a podcast we have.
No,
it's called Your Mom's House."
We tried to explain it, but
like, you can go look it up on iTunes. It's very popular.
He was pretty quick with like, "This is a
he?
joke." And I go, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay."
He grew up with a lot of your mom jokes.
Yeah, he did.
He's not
Didn't like
buying it.
Not buying it.
Seems like a guy that just didn't get it.
Can you play, Fred? Will you play his audio? The Glasson guy? Yeah.
Where do you have it on your thing?
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Okay, what is the name of the video?
It's called...
See how it's saved on his phone.
I'll tell you. Give me one moment. I'll look
Tom
it up.
Segura at the Ice House tonight, sold out. I'm doing Dom Herrera's show tonight.
And you're at the
Laugh
House
Factory
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right? Yeah.
With Duncan Trussell and Tony Hinchcliffe. Do.
Got a couple of...
Bum, 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 bum,
This
bum.
one, Moose down in 20 seconds.
This should be it.
Okay, crank it up. Okay, that looks like a compound bow.
Really?
Yeah, let's see.
I got a bowling cow right there.
Couldn't tell, it was moving really quick. Yeah, that's a compound bow. See the cams at the top of the bow? That's not a primitive bow at all. That's a super modern bow. I think.
But this dude knows how to do this. He's
he's a professional bow hunter. I've seen this guy on TV a ton of times.
Really?
Yeah. He's got a TV show that I watch. Dude, if you go over to my house, you'd think I'm a crazy person.
You changed your profile pic.
Yeah, it's a silly picture of me with camo on my face, hiding in the trees.
I'm trying to make sure this is the right video. I'm looking.
As we're going through the trees, every once in a while I stop and I can still see the moose through the trees. I know we're blended in good. We've got
when does it get good?
That's what I'm. It's archery. Is this it? Archery moose down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming up.
Angling down.
Here's where
Yeah.
Start out
There you
on
go.
my knees and I
Go there.
realize I've got.
Here we go. Okay, it's about to get good. So you get the full shot.
Oh, yes.
Wait. It's countdown to getting real funny.
I just smoked her. She's going to go down. Watch her. Watch her. She's going to go down. I put a muzzy right through her lungs.
Jesus.
I know, it's intense. I don't like this part.
No way. Yes! Have you ever seen a moose go down that quick? No. Holy cow! Holy cow is right. That is awesome. We got out here early morning. Look at the meadow. This is why we came up here. We've been slipping along this big, huge meadow. Big, long, tall meadow. We've been slipping along here, just glassing. And all of a sudden, literally, I didn't even put my head net on. I'm like, we're just glassing these big, huge meadows. Let's just keep going. Let's glass. I'm glassing. I'm like, holy smokes, I got a moose. And I'm like, oh man, it's a bull. And I'm like, no, it's a cow. We got a cow right there. That was unbelievable. We came right around this tree. She was.
Is a cow more significant than a bull?
No, unless he only had a tag for a cow.
Oh,
It depends on why he shot a cow, not a bull. Sometimes it depends on the unit. Depends on how many cows they have versus how many bulls they have. They might want people to kill cows.
Oh.
They probably want a certain amount of cows to be killed a year. They have weird.
Who decides that?
Yeah, it's Fish and Game Department.
They go, we have too many of
Depends
this.
entirely on where you are. Depends entirely on what part of the world you're in.
And then do you report it?
Yep. Yeah, you tag. You tag an animal. Like say if you shoot a moose, that's a moose. This one I shot in British Columbia.
Really?
Yeah. And you have a tag, and you take that. You have to pay for it, and they allot a certain amount of them. Some places they have what's called over the counter, which means they just have it's just kind of open to anybody who wants to pay for the hunting fee and pay for the tag fee to some species, like particularly.
What'd you shoot that with?
That was with a rifle.
Really?
Yep.
Were you glassing before?
We did a little glassing. No, that was like 4 solid days of hunting with no luck, and then we were literally driving down this road, and off the side of the road, 70 yards away, was a moose. And it was so crazy. It happened so fast. We stopped the truck. The moose looked up. He didn't know what we were. I put a shell. I put a bullet in the chamber. Pushed the bolt in. Took the safety off. Centered him. I'm like, do I have time to lean against anything? I didn't have time to lean against anything. I just held it up freehand because he was only about 65, 70 yards away. He was really close. It was so close. I knew I could make the shot. And boom.
Boom. And then down immediately?
Yeah, he was down immediately.
Wow.
It's a weird feeling, man. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, like I'll be honest.
I don't do what that guy does, but part of you gets pumped, part of you gets excited, but I don't act like that guy. That guy seems
really
a little theatrical. But I mean, that's just I'm not him personally, but for him, maybe that's just how he reacts.
That's how he was very excited.
Yeah,
very excited. Yeah, which I understand.
It's not easy to do, especially with a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to do.
I will say, I do feel this thing where I'm not an anti-hunting guy at all, but like, man, it's hard to watch the animal fall apart. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's hard to watch anything die.
Yeah,
it's not fun. And it's one of the problems that we have with eating meat in this country is that we don't watch the animals die.
Of course. It totally affects you. I went to a slaughterhouse once.
Woo, me too.
When I was a teenager, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long did it stop you from eating meat?
No, a few hours that night. But it still was one of those images that you're like, fuck me.
We filmed Fear Factor in a slaughterhouse once, and you could feel it. You could feel it in the building. I mean, maybe it's just my head.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like it. It felt like a dull hum of death everywhere you were. Yeah. Just like there was almost like an ambient sound that you could pick up.
I remember the floors. We had like rain boots on, so you could walk around, and there's just like so much fluid, so much blood, guts, and like pieces of things, and you're like, fuck, man. Yeah.
It makes you really understand what the fuck you're looking at.
It would. It definitely could deter you. I mean, I was a young teenager, and I still ate meat, but I think I definitely would be harder as I'm older.
Well, do you think, this is something I've considered, like, do you think that if you took kids at an early age to a slaughterhouse, what percentage of them would continue to eat meat? You'd
That's
lose a
interesting.
significant number of them,
I
right?
think that's very interesting. Yeah.
So children probably shouldn't be exposed to something that horrific. Some would argue, right? That's a good argument. That maybe children don't need to see an animal get a piston through its head and get
Yeah.
hung up by its ankles and
Yeah.
gutted and all. But guess what?
Yeah.
Kids that grow up on farms, they see that shit.
True.
Kids that grow up in hunting families, they see that shit, and it doesn't seem to bother them that much.
Yeah.
I think when kids don't see something like that and then they see it, then it really fucks them up. But when we shot this elk in Tejon Ranch, when they were taking the elk apart,
Yeah.
we were, cutting the quarters off and doing all this stuff. This one guy, his wife and his little girl came to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things she said was that this elk was lying down on the ground dead. She's like, "Is he sleepy?"
Yeah.
She's like 2.
Mm-hmm.
She's a tiny little girl. She's like probably barely talking. She's like, "Is he sleepy?"
Yeah.
And the mom was like, "No, he's dead."
She told her. Yeah.
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 I think it changed your perspective if you do what you do, for sure. If you kill and eat what you killed, I think that changed your perspective on it.
Well, I don't think people have to do it. I'm not one of those
No.
people that think that people have to do it, but I
don't
do
think so either. But it changes you a little bit, right? When you remember that, like, you did this and then you used its meat for something.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
It's a totally different feel when you eat it. Like, and I'm not one of those people that doesn't think you should be able to get meat at a supermarket. I think you should. But I think there's definitely something weird about not knowing how that animal died.
Yeah.
Like, that's not normal.
Right.
It's like our brains, the way we formulate ideas, a lot of it is based around experience, right? And the experience, like if you're eating a piece of meat, or if you're even eating fruits or vegetables for that matter, you will understand that experience better if you go through the whole process. Like if you're there when the plants are growing, maybe you help water them, maybe you pick them, maybe you cut them up and serve them, and then you're eating them.
Having a garden is a fucking cool thing.
It's a cool thing,
Yeah.
and it gives you some weird thankfulness, which I think is one of the things that's a problem with people today, is that things come so easy to us that we don't have obstacles to overcome, and we're not super thankful for this super easy life that we have.
Totally.
We think of it as being like, yeah, it's just what it is, man.
Traveling somewhere poor will give you perspective on that for sure.
Oh, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
man.
going to like a really poor place, you'll definitely rethink, calling over the waiter.
Jamie, who
because
was it that was telling
salty.
us? Yeah, who was it that was telling us that they landed in the Congo, and they were in they landed in the wrong spot? Who the fuck was that? Was that Tom Papa? It might have been Tom Papa. It was Tom Papa,
landed
right?
in the
They were on
Congo?
safari and like
Yes.
the emergency land.
Yes. Yeah, their balloon. They went up in a balloon like assholes.
Ooh. Oof.
Tom Papa's awesome.
He's really funny.
He's a funny dude. He's great on podcasts too, man.
Yeah.
He's such like an elegant dance partner for conversation.
You're totally right. Yeah.
But he's got an amazing story about how they were up in this balloon. It was Tom Papa, right?
Have you done his live show,
totally,
by the way?
Totally sure.
Have you done his live show?
His live show? What is it?
Tom Papa and Friends?
Was it a podcast?
No, it's a live scripted, like a 1930s radio show.
What?
Yeah, and he'll
Where
just
does
be
he
like,
do it out of?
Largo.
No shit.
It's fucking fun. I've been on it a few times. And he'll what he does is he comes out, there's a fucking band that plays, like throwback, kind of music.
Right.
And then he hosts it like a radio show. So, and then there's a theme, there's stories, and in between these sketches with live actors, like you have a script and you read in front of an audience, stand up in between.
Does he have his own podcast?
Yeah, I think so.
What is Tom Papa's podcast?
For sure.
How do I not know this answer? Because I knew. Did he used to do one with somebody?
He may have.
Come to Pop. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's on iTunes, the whole deal.
That was a really good comic too.
Yeah, he's a
Really
very
good.
funny guy. He just has a special that just came out on Epix.
Yeah, that's
Did it
probably
come out already yet? Right? Didn't it come out like last weekend or something?
It's recent, and it's
Yeah.
like it's got to be what, third, fourth, fifth of his. He's had
Probably.
a few.
Do you ever talk to him about sourdough bread?
Sourdough bread. No, I've never.
You'll
talked
get
about
lost
that.
for hours.
Really?
He's a sourdough wizard.
He knows all about.
He can make you sourdough bread. He'll judge your bread. You make him some bread. He's like, good try, but
Really?
here's what's wrong. Yeah. He's a bread snob.
I feel like I love that quality. I feel like there's so much of that in comics. It's one of my favorite attributes about comedians where you're like, this guy's a fucking hockey fanatic. He will punch you in the face if you say anything. You know what I mean? Like they have their little fanaticism.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
That's his bread.
Does it get any better than? Oh my God! What? Am I in France? Am I in a bakery? No, I'm just baking bread.
it's awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean that looks really good. That bread looks fucking sensational.
Dude, there was one time I went to a French cooking class a few, like 6-7 years ago, and I learned a very basic but, a little more sophisticated way to make chocolate souffle. Like the hot lava where you crack, and there's a certain way. You have to learn the temperature of your oven. Like the real way it works is to make multiples, because it might say 300, but it cooks it in 17 minutes. But at my house, 300 cooks it in 22 minutes, right? So because they're actually, the different ovens are performing at a different level. The heat is not necessarily what it says. And you would learn how to mix and season the ramekin and all
What's
that.
the range you could error in?
Well, the thing is, I think most people would agree that you want the souffle to have a crack. You almost want it to be a crumble, like it breaks through the top.
Yeah.
But the middle stays a sort of 3/4 type of ooze, softness, So you don't want it to bake fully, because then you have a cake, basically, right? So, and if you go under, then it could be like too gooey. You want like that kind of down the middle.
Oh, I see what you're doing, dude. Bert Kreischer's going to hear this podcast. He's going to hear this souffle talk, and he's going to go off like a rocket.
No.
I know what you're doing.
Not at all.
I can't believe you would use my podcast like that, bro.
I would never do something
Dude, that's
like
what you
that.
just did. You've never done this before. You've never had this scent. I want a fucking chocolate souffle now.
Dude, they're
God
incredible.
Damn it. Do you want vanilla ice cream with yours?
Absolutely.
Have to.
And you have to let your server know these things take
20
25
minutes
or more. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
they always tell you if a fancy schmancy place.
Yeah.
Like if you go to
give
Morton's,
us a heads up.
If you want the chocolate souffle,
Yeah.
let us know now.
Dude, when I learned that recipe, I made about 30 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I think I put on about 30 pounds in those 2 weeks. So, yeah, definitely.
Do you now, when you're trying to lose weight for this competition, do you now look at this like this is the new Tom Segura, I'm just going to eat healthy and lose all this weight? Or do you go, I'm just going to beat Bert Kreischer, and then I'm going to go off like a rocket?
No, I feel like it becomes a little bit addictive to when you start seeing some results.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like saving money.
You're addicted to success.
When you save money and you see the number go up, like, and I'm talking like even like when you're not making a lot of, you go like, I want to save this amount of money. Sometimes you'll surpass it and you'll be like, I don't even care about the thing that I thought I was saving money for. It's fun to see it grow.
Right.
That becomes the addiction. He's like, I just want to see it grow. So I think weight loss can be like that. You go like, oh, I'll just, try to lose it. But then you see the number go down. You're like, oh, I want to see it keep going down.
That's why when they have those helicopter footage views of these mansions in the Hamptons and they're pulling a guy out in handcuffs because he stole $500 million from his company, that's what the fuck that's all about.
Yeah.
That's that simple human need to collect.
Yeah.
You become some corporate villain. That becomes you fucking dig into the oil, in the middle of the ocean.
Like
and
every CEO in America.
Yeah. It's a natural thing that people do.
Yeah, sure.
But
the weight loss one's healthy.
The weight loss one is a healthy one.
Yeah.
But you bring up a real good point.
Yeah.
Like people do get addicted to success, and they get addicted to. I think it's one of the most important things about people, is that you have to find what little formula works for your brain.
Right.
Everybody's brain is fucking different. To tell everybody they got to go for it, and they got to work out like The Rock, and they got to read a book a day. Like, hey, slow the fuck down.
Right. That's not for me.
Everybody doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But you got to find out what it is for you. And I think for almost everybody, there should be something that you're pursuing that you can get better at. Meaning, it could be art. It could be like you're really into painting. It could be sculpture. It could be a physical thing, like maybe a yoga thing or a martial arts thing, or fill in the blank with 100 archery, 100 different things that you could chess that you could really get into.
Sure.
But I think when people work towards something, and then continue to do something and try to improve it, even if it's just your recreational tennis game, I think those things bring people happiness, because I think people have a certain amount of built-in desire to overcome adversity, overcome problems, and we don't get enough of it in real life.
Oh, right. So then you get something like a weight loss challenge.
Yeah, anything like that, where you have a difficult struggle.
Yeah.
Like you have a accomplishment that you're working towards. It gives people this sense of meaning, which ultimately, that's the real problem, right? With a lot of people is that they don't enjoy their life, and so then they start thinking about like, what is the purpose of this then? Because is it just keep being uncomfortable and not happy,
right,
until your heart stops beating?
Yeah, that's a miserable way to live. But a lot of people live like that. That's why, by the way, is why my point for this too is that I think it's a great endorsement of fat shaming, because this is a healthy result where you have two guys. Ultimately, look, it doesn't even matter. We both fat shamed and insulted each other, and then so did a lot of people.
Right, well, you can get away with it because you're a fat guy. If Jamie started fat shaming you, we'd have a real issue.
I don't know, man.
Jamie's skinny. He runs a lot.
But
goddamn marathon.
What I'm saying is that we benefited from it.
Low fat.
Yeah, I know. He's fucking lean.
No, you did definitely. But you guys are all both professional comedians. Like, here's a perfect example. What about a guy who's like a chef?
Yeah.
Who's just some fucking bomb ass chef, and he's a master chef, and he keeps creating all these new dishes. But he's a fat fuck, and he eats like a pig, and he drinks wine every night, like Gerard Depardieu.
Well, look, if that guy loves that, you're right. I'm not encouraging. I'm not saying you should go and fat shame everybody. What I'm saying is that there is an outcome in which it can be effective and not negative. I'm not saying, hey, anybody who's fat, you should fucking fat shame them. I'm just saying that in this scenario, the outcome could be that like it ends. Let's say it ended today, and we are where we are. Both of us just actually ended up eating healthier and working out for a month. And you know what I mean? And we weigh less than we did. We're healthier than we were a month ago.
Well, I think different people have different abilities of tolerating jokes pointed at them. That has a different effect. Like, you could say something to me, and it probably has a different effect
than true.
Maybe someone who doesn't do comedy, or maybe someone who's not used to someone joking around with them.
Yeah.
I think that's a factor, too.
I don't think you should emotionally traumatize a fat person. I hope it didn't sound like I was trying to say that.
For some people, it takes being called fat to like get them off their ass. Like some people.
That's my point. Is that I feel like I should say that with me
it worked,
and with some people, I mean, in a healthy way. I never took it to like really. I don't know. It didn't affect me in a horrible. It affected me in a motivating way.
Well, you and I have had a ton of conversations over the years about health and fitness and weight loss and stuff like that. So if you wanted to do something, I always felt like you would definitely do something, and you always worked out.
Yeah.
But
this became, it became something that I want to do, just channeled through this other thing. That's ultimately what it was.
I've told this story before, but when Kevin James was losing weight, his manager at the time, who he got rid of, was telling him that if he loses weight, he loses roles.
Yeah.
He was telling him to not be healthy because you won't get as much work.
I had a manager tell me,
that is goddamn crazy.
I had a manager tell me, don't lose the weight.
Oh Jesus, that's the same thing. Like what the fuck kind of advice is that? That's so crazy.
I know.
Don't be better as a person. It's gonna fuck up your comedy.
They were thinking of casting. They were like, there's this many roles, so you could get one.
I wonder if they would approach it differently now, because now like if like casting, and it's always gonna be good to be on a sitcom. It's always gonna be good to be in a movie.
Yeah.
But if you're someone like you who has a successful podcast and then does Netflix specials, I'll take that over all those things all day.
It's a good life.
It's the best life.
Yeah.
You're creating your own shit. You're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
You're doing it when you want to. You're being very prolific. You're having fun. I mean, you've done 2 specials in what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking badass. You did one, and then you did another one like a 1.5 years later, somewhere in that range?
About 16 to 18 months later.
Yeah, man. That's fucking giant.
Yeah. I'm working on another one.
Yeah. But see, no interference, man. No.
You're right.
You don't have some crazy executives that want to change the direction of the show.
Yeah.
And
that's a whole world that I've learned. It's really weird. Like just from writing.
Weird.
Yeah. Like having the script deals.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people get involved. At first they don't. First there's nothing. It's just like you and an idea. And
they have conversations with you that you just want to go, what did you just say?
I had one time where we had this conversation with an executive who said, like, we kind of want shows like, and I'll just make it up, right? Like, let's say like an HBO show. That's not what they said. And you go like, okay. And that was just one of the things they said. And then on the first notes pass, which is like they read your first draft, the first thing that the same executive said was, "This kind of feels like an HBO show. I don't really want it." And we were like, "What?" Like, that's what you said, and they were like, "No, it's too much like that."
Oh my
like,
God, that's hilarious.
Okay. So that's the kind of shit you can deal with on a writing deal, where you're like, I don't know where to go from that.
Yeah, well, those deals are so odd. You work with writers, and sometimes, like you don't know a person. You sit down with them, start trying to write a script with them, and it just gets really strange.
Yeah. But when the execs come in is when it really gets strange.
Yeah, they have their own wacky ideas. I pitched a show once, and the guy was pitching it without a panic attack.
He had a panic attack at
in the pitch meeting.
Whoa.
Yeah, he held it together, but he had a kind of he's a really nice guy, very smart guy too. He's a real good writer. Very funny guy. Used to be a comic. And then in the middle of this meeting, he just locked up.
Wow.
You could see it. Just had really struggled to try to get through the pitch. And I couldn't jump in. I mean, if I jumped, I didn't know what to do.
Pitches are so funny, man. Pitches are like, for people that who haven't done it or don't, like pitching a show in my estimation and in my experience is a lot like a blind date. The first 5 minutes. That's how like a pitch feels, because they'll be like, "Hey, I'm supposed to meet you at 2, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's 2:00." And then they're like, "What's going on?"
Right.
And then the usually the popular thing, especially for comedy people, is they're like, first just be like yourself and just make it funny. And you make a decision, like you're like, "I'm gonna joke about this," and you like sometimes you get on a roll. Like people you're gelling, like this is it's funny, natural conversation. But sometimes it's like an awkward first date where you're like, "Yeah, you like moose?" And the person's like, "What?" And then you kind of feel it being awkward, and they start to be like, "I don't know if this is a great date," And then they're like, at that point, like, "I don't know if I would go on a second date with you." Is like the feel. They go, "So what's the idea?" And you're already feeling like, "Oh shit, this isn't a good date to begin with." And then you start trying to throw out an idea like, "Well, you'll like this, even though I don't think you like me," And then you kind of. And it either rolls down that hill where you're like, you leave the room like, that was awkward, right?
A pitch is still one step removed from an audition, though.
Right.
An audition's the worst.
That is definitely the worst. They also, you feel like sometimes you walk in the room in an audition and you feel like the casting director or person made the decision right as you walk in the room. You ever have that where like you walk in and you're like, this person's definitely a no.
Yeah.
Like
you have to keep going.
You got to keep going. I had a guy check emails once during an audition. I was like, Then another time I improvised a line, and the guy laughed, and he goes, "That was rude." And I was like, "What was?" He goes, "Stick to the script." I'm like, "Oh man." Ooh. It's punched to the fucking gut like that.
It's so hard.
Have you had a bad pitch?
Yes. Well, that was a bad pitch where the guy had a panic attack.
Yeah.
That was the end of that.
Have you ever tried to pitch though, like where you're like, and you're like, this is going terribly right now?
I pitched a show that the dude laughed at me. He thought I was joking, but I was totally serious. It was about a bunch of girls who work at a bikini pizza place during the day, and at night they fight crime, and it's called Pizza Sluts.
Yeah.
They work at a place called Pizza Sluts.
And he's like, all right, what's the real pitch?
I wanted to do, it was a stoned idea I had, but the idea was to do like a super over the top, ridiculous, like Charlie's Angels type thing with some girls that worked at a pizza place.
Yeah.
That was the cover for this like secret crime fighting organization. It was so stupid. Like I didn't have ideas for scripts. I didn't have anything.
But see, I think I would at least be smiling if that was the pitch.
He laughed.
Did you ever?
But he was like, "We can't do that."
Do that shit. You ever see my Mayor sizzle? You saw that, where I play basically like a Rob Ford type character.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Play that.
We shot that, a couple of years ago, and we pitched it to a lot. Like we sent them that, or we'd bring it with us.
Right.
There's some people that laugh in, like it's like I said, it's like meeting a new person.
Right.
And there's one guy who were like, "So, did you see the sizzle?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "What else is there?" Like that kind of where he's just like shuts it down,
Really?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Let me hear this. Harry Pryor.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Davey boy, drink with me.
Mr. Mayor, this is Stan Ramsey from the Budget Office. We're using Stan for some healthcare PSAs. He was recently diagnosed with cancer.
God, I'm sorry, Stan. What kind?
Lung. I don't even smoke.
Yeah. What did the doctors say?
They gave me 6 months.
You know something? My aunt had lung cancer. And they gave her that same prognosis. And that was 14 years ago.
Really? She remained cancer-free?
Oh, she died 13 and a half years ago.
Why are you telling me this?
Because it was like 6 months to the day. I mean, these doctors, they know their shit. It's great meeting you, Stan. Hey, and definitely swing by before April.
We can set that up through my office.
What is it's just the people's mayor?
Yeah,
So he just decided to do like a Rob Ford character.
Yeah, I mean, like it wasn't pitched that way, but as you know, you could tell that was obviously the influence.
Would you like to ramp it up and start with Coke?
Dude,
Like Rob Ford, the thing that was so interesting about him is they had video of him smoking crack.
this leads down.
Oh, he keeps going?
Sucking black dick for crack.
Oh,
premise.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Sucking a black dick.
Yeah, well, accused of it. And he's like, I
Oh.
didn't suck it. I don't think so. So, but it was, it was written by Tom Ruprecht, who's a really funny. He was a Letterman writer for years and years and years. Really funny guy. And I just played the role, but pitching that was like was a roller coaster because we had so many good people like involved in it, you know. And I was like, oh, this is... And then the pitch, I just can't help but. I know I'm repeating it, but it's like a blind date. It was like people would be like, "Oh my God, that's fucking awesome," and then they'd be like, "I hate you."
Well, think of the position. You're going to an executive and you're saying, "Hey, spend money.
Spend money.
Spend money. I want to make a hit."
Yeah.
Well, what's your idea? And then well, it's a bunch of girls in their bikinis, and they
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
That's
Pizza
stupid.
sluts.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
stupid. It's a stupid
It's
idea.
true.
I'm glad they said no.
Yeah.
But every now and then,
Yeah.
someone will come in their office and something clicks, and they decide, "Oh, let's take a chance." And they could take a chance on 10 things, and only one of them works.
Yeah.
I mean, how many shows get fucking canceled and they cost a shitload of money to make?
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time.
True.
Do you remember that show with the dude from ER? What's his name? Noah Wiley. Remember he had a show, like an alien show? It was this crazy special effects alien invasion show, and they hyped the shit out of it and spent all this money on it.
If you're on a hit show, you get so many more chances after that.
Oh, yeah, you do.
They'll keep putting you in shit, man.
There it is. Falling Skies.
Whew.
It's kind of funny looking.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, the creatures were badass looking. They're bizarre. But it's a weird show. It's like, what is this? Yeah. Like these creatures. So they're hanging out. Like, once you're hanging out with aliens, god damn, that's hard to pull off.
Yeah.
You can turn your back to a lizard person. Like, you're not freaking out by the fact that thing's from another goddamn planet. It's
Right.
behind you. You can look to the skies. I would never let one of those fuckers behind me. Everywhere I'd walk, I'd have my back to the wall.
Well, it's every instinct had to be to kill. If you're, of course.
Dude, you see that picture or the animated GIF file that I put up on my Instagram
Which one?
of an owl swooping in and jacking this other bird?
No.
I think it's a hawk. It jacks too, or some. It looks like
I tell you what I did watch was your tree cutting thing.
Holy shit, is that disturbing?
Fuck is that thing?
See that machine?
Yeah.
I've seen those before, but that one seemed like
Just picks up
maybe
trees.
I forgot
It's
how
like,
efficient they were. Just cuts them in half, strips the look at that, saws it in half, lifts it up in the air, buzzes through all the bark.
As it's holding it. It's like,
Cuts it again, buzzes through the bark, totally strips the bark off. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Strips all the branches off, cuts it, blamp,
It's so, I know, it's incredible.
blamp. It's nuts,
There's a dude
man.
manning that.
It's
which is
nuts.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, it's so disturbing when you see the brutal efficiency of it. Look how it just saws through it, and all those wheels and gears on it. I mean,
Yeah.
really incredible, man.
Unreal. Yeah.
But anyway, that's not shit compared to the owl. This owl swoops down and jacks this bird. I don't know what kind of bird. It actually looks like a pigeon more than it looks like a hawk, right? What does that look like? That bird. Look at the eyes in the distance. See the eyes?
Yeah, yeah.
Watch this, motherfucker. Bam!
Whoa.
Yeah. That other bird doesn't even know what happened.
No.
He's like, hey, see, look at his face. That looks like a raptor, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it,
It
has
does,
quite
right?
a beak on it, though, right?
I think that's some kind of a raptor.
What kind of distance that thing's coming
Dude, and it sees them, and they don't see it, and booyah!
from. Later.
And they don't just grab you, they kick you.
Yeah.
Like as it closes in, watch it one more time. We're like sadists now.
I
Those
know.
eyes, look, he's just fucking swooping in.
That's
Those
awesome.
eyes are so creepy.
Awesome to watch animals do it.
But watch how he kicks them. Bitch! Like, it's not just a grab, it's a stun.
Yeah.
Like, it kicks them and then sinks the claws
Yeah,
in.
man.
And you ever seen an owl's talons?
Yeah, they're incredible.
They're enormous.
Yeah, that other bird turned its head and was like, "You say something like that."
Why is it that we take these ruthless, fascinating birds of prey and these predators in nature, and we make them out to be these like lovable sweethearts?
Yeah,
like owls.
There's
Give a hoot,
nothing
don't pollute.
funnier than Matt Bronger's bit about owls. It's
I've never
it's
seen
about that. That is.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's so fucking funny.
It's about how ruthless owls are.
How savage they are, and he I mean, like, I'm paraphrasing. It's an older bit of his, but people are like, oh, they're so good. That thing will rip your fucking face off. Like, he has a really, really well written bit about it. But
look at that, Jesus
People
Christ.
try to make them cute. They're like, oh, they're adorable.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
They're night predators.
Mm-hmm.
Night flying predators with giant eyes.
Look at that those eyes too, man.
Yeah, we were at there's a rescue place that we go to sometimes.
Yeah.
They take care of wildlife and rehabilitate them, and they had this one owl that was blind, like pretty much blind. It couldn't fly.
Mm-hmm.
It would just perch, and it was a really small owl.
Yeah.
And you sit there and look at this thing. I think it's in Silmar. I think the place is. I forget where it's at. It's in the 818, but it's got this little owl, and you're looking in his fucking eyes, man. You're like, what a strange creature. And his eyes look almost like cracked because he's blind. Like it looks like you're looking through a cracked television glass or something.
And it's old?
Yeah, he's old. He's old, and maybe something happened to his eyes too. It might have been an injury or something like that. You know, sometimes birds will fly into windows. That happens a lot.
We have the outline of one on a window.
Oh, Jesus. Look at those eyes. Is that one bird?
I don't know. It's a blind owl.
Blind owl. Yeah, like look at his eyes. They look like they're cracked inside. Like there's something wrong, something missing. Like he's looking at the universe.
Oh.
That guy looks like a portal to the heavens. Look at his right eye.
Yeah.
It's like a constellation map, or his left eye.
That's true.
The left eye is a constellation. The right eye is
nuts.
a storm.
It's not even a reflection of something
No.
that looks like that. That's what it looks like in that eye.
Well, it's just such a bizarre animal. Like if that didn't exist, like if there was no owls and then they just found one, you would be obsessed. You'd be like, holy shit, have you seen that new animal they discovered? Yeah, it's called an owl. They're calling it an owl. Dude, it's this giant flying thing with huge talons, and it only hunts at night. And it's smart as fuck.
Mm.
They just swoop down and jack everything.
Yeah, that's an incredible predator, man.
Well, it's really interesting that the balance of those things, other than when people get infected or involved, rather, the balance of those things is like how many of them exist. It's all dependent upon like how much there is for them to eat, right? It's like the more rabbits there are, the more rats there are, the more the owls will thrive. The more it's if you didn't have those things, like people are always in LA, they're always worried about coyotes. Oh man, it's fucking coyotes. It's bullshit. We got to get these coyotes out of our neighborhood. Oh, do you like rats?
Yeah.
Do you like rats?
No.
I don't like rats.
Yeah, neither do
Yeah,
I.
how do rats get to your fucking house? Coyotes.
Yeah.
Hey, my cat. Don't put your cat outside.
Yeah.
Fucking Mittens doesn't know what the hell a goddamn coyote is.
Right. No, it's there. Yeah. People flip out about that.
You need coyotes.
I've seen a fucking coyote trotting down Fountain with a dog in its mouth before. Ooh. At night, late at night.
That's dark.
And then I saw a pack of them came to an apartment building I lived at once, and you heard this like weird squeaking, like screeching. At first, I thought it was an animal was hurt.
Where were you?
I was in Silver Lake.
Holy shit!
And I was like, man, what is that? Sounds like a dog's crying. And I opened the door, and the door that was near the street, the apartment there, had a glass door open, but a screen door, and they had a bigger dog, and then there was like 6 coyotes
trying to get that dog.
Yeah, and they were making this incredible crying noise.
Holy shit!
We were fucking fixated, like, oh my god! Like for a second, I thought they're gonna fucking run through that door.
Imagine if they got through and just made a bloodbath out of the hallway.
Yeah.
You came down, you found this coyote's
now
kill.
As a pitch, I'm already in on this one. If
Okay.
you want to pitch this?
What is it?
Fucking 6 coyotes see a dog, break in, and make a bloodbath of an entire family.
Jesus.
Halloween 2017.
Coyotes, wild coyotes, just
Sure.
start killing people?
Why not?
I don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable.
All right, then don't fucking buy it. I just tried to sell it.
All
to
right,
you.
dude.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
I'll go.
Okay, we all have different tastes. I'm not into that. Do you
Jamie
know-
was into it.
Do you know that coyotes are wolves?
No.
Yeah, they're wolves. They're they used to call them prairie wolves. That's why they can breed with wolves. Like they have that thing called a coy wolf. That's like a hybrid between a coyote and a wolf.
Yeah.
It's not just a hybrid between a coyote and a wolf. There's actually a lot of them now. There's like the percentage of hybrid. It's like sometimes a hybrid mixes with a pure coyote.
Yeah.
Sometimes a hybrid mixes with another hybrid. Sometimes a hybrid mixes with another wolf. So there's like a bunch of different levels of coyotes and wolves.
Sure.
But ultimately, they're all wolves. Coyotes are a type of wolf.
But the difference between dogs and wolves is dramatic, right? I think I read that like
Only by image.
by image only.
Yeah, their genetics are exactly the same.
But then the natural abilities of them is vastly
I shouldn't say the
different.
genetics, because obviously they vary, right?
Yeah.
But what I should say is when you research a dog's DNA, all dogs came from wolves. So they became a dog.
Yeah.
But obviously an English bulldog is very different than a husky, is very different than a Rottweiler. There's a lot of weird variations in genes. But all of them originated with wolves.
Interesting.
Yeah, they don't even know how. They don't know. I mean, what
And
the
coyotes
fuck?
come from wolves?
Coyotes are wolves.
Are wolves. Oh.
And some coyotes have bred with dogs. When we did a Fear Factor shoot once, we stumbled upon this like a litter of puppies
Yeah.
that this Labrador had with a coyote. It was really weird.
Do you ever see mountain lion?
I've seen mountain lions. I've
Yeah.
seen them twice.
Yeah.
I saw one in Colorado, and I saw one in Santa Barbara. I saw one in Montecito, that Montecito neighborhood.
Oof.
We were driving to a restaurant. We're driving up the street, and this thing runs across the road, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, is there a coyote? Oh, and I saw its tail. And I'm, oh, my God, it's a cat. That's a cat. That's a big cat. Holy shit. It's such a different feeling, man. When you see, and when I say big cat, it was probably about 60 or 70 pounds, anywhere between, I'm just guessing, anywhere between 50 and 70 pounds. It wasn't big like a big mountain lion.
Yeah.
Like some of them get to be 150 plus pounds. It wasn't like that big. But
Those
it was,
can be bad motherfuckers.
They're
man.
all bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
My point is that 51 will fuck you up.
Yeah, of course.
50-pound mountain lion will
Yeah.
fuck you up, man. You don't want to see that.
No.
That's
no
a
way.
terrible. So to see it in this really nice neighborhood, we went to this really nice Italian restaurant. And we're driving down this residential street, and we're like, "Holy shit, that's a killer! That thing's
Yeah.
just roaming, looking for dogs and shit."
Yeah. What if it saw you walking your dog? You know.
They'll take your dog. Coyotes take your dog all the time.
Oof.
You hear stories about old ladies in Brentwood walking their poodles, click, 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 click. They hear the clicks of the nails of the coyote behind them, and the coyote just snatches that dog right off the leash. Yeah.
That's horrible.
They'll
man.
eat anything. Especially when they're in urban environments. They actually target cats and dogs because cats and dogs kill a lot of what they kill.
Yeah.
So they don't just look at a cat. This is one of the things I found out from this Coyote America book that I read, was that they don't just look at a cat as a something to eat. They really look at it as a competing predator.
Oh, so I got to get rid of that.
Yeah, because that thing's eating all the fucking birds.
Right.
That thing's eating all the rats. That thing's eating. It's killing everything.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, they don't like it. They don't like having competing predators
Killed
around.
the competition.
I mean, they'll kill it if it was a chicken, obviously. They would kill it if it was something that wasn't a competing, like if it was a bunny rabbit, they would kill it too. So it's hard to say why they're killing it. They easily could be killing it for food, but they believe that they target those animals because those animals are fellow predators.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. They must know. They must be able to tell when something's a predator.
I saw this piece, a news piece about how they would have much better, chance of survival, the mountain lions out here, if we had overpasses over the freeways for them to roam.
Yeah, they're going to build those.
Yeah. Are they going to build it?
Yeah.
I know that in Europe they have them some places.
They got to do them here, and they're going to spend millions of dollars, and people are up in arms. People are like, fuck these things. Well, one of them just killed, I think it was like, we looked this up the other day, right? 12 alpacas or 11 alpacas and one goat in Malibu. Just went on a rampage. Just decided, I just want to jump the fence and fuck these things up. Didn't eat one of them.
Really?
Just killed them for the fuck of it.
Do you think it was for, like for fun or because it saw it as
it's a good time.
Yeah, good time.
Can't resist.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things stuck in a cage.
Yeah.
I can get in that cage. I get over the top of that thing. All right, I'm gonna do it.
Wow.
I mean, that's like probably a thrill for him.
Sure.
These totally tame things that aren't gonna run good. Like think about how many times that thing's trying to sneak up on a deer and the deer sees him and boing, boing. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, how many times does that thing have to go on a stalk before it actually gets a deer?
So it walked out of that cage like,
It just satisfied. Just probably came all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if they gave a depredation order to kill this thing, And people are up in arms about that. They're like, no, we want the monster that kills the alpacas to stay near our children in our house.
Jesus.
No, don't kill it.
Don't kill the thing.
I'm a big mountain lion fan, folks. Don't get me wrong. I'm a
Sure.
big fan of wolves, too. But when you got something in your neighborhood that kills 11 alpacas, what if it was a werewolf? Okay? What if a werewolf was in your neighborhood and decided to kill a bunch of sheep? It got a reprieve. Yeah, they decided to change this. Wow, they gave a depredation order, which means the rancher was allowed to kill it. So it looks like the mountain lion got a reprieve. A neighbor had offered to shoot the big cat known as P45. Can you make that a little bigger? Thank you, sir. For Victoria Von Perling. But she told reporters it was never her intention to have the cougar killed. Instead, she said she'd hoped game officials would capture it and get it away from her ranch. Oh, okay, so the woman who had the alpacas didn't want the mountain lion to be killed. She indicated that public outrage might have played a role in her decision, adding she was surprised by the vitriol. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, the people who don't know, especially someone who's like a rancher, is raising alpacas, and they're not paying attention to how nutty like social justice warriors get online when it comes to things like this. But here's the thing, folks. You got a problem if you got something that's in your neighborhood that kills a lot of livestock, especially that. The way it did it there, where it killed a bunch of them and didn't even eat it.
Where would they drop that thing, by the way, you think, if they were trying to do that?
They would take it somewhere like Big Bear or, somewhere probably close by but far enough away that it, maybe could stake out a new territory. But there's no guarantee that it doesn't come back. See, the thing about mountain lions as opposed to people is they know where the fuck they are, and they know how to get home.
Yeah.
Like, they have some weird built-in sense of direction. Like, mountain lions will travel hundreds of miles in their lives.
Really?
Hundreds of miles.
And they'll get back to where they were?
Dude, there was a mountain lion that was killed in fucking Connecticut, and it originated in South Dakota.
That's really far.
Yeah. It was hit by a car in Connecticut, and they were like, what in the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Why is there a mountain lion on the road? See if you can find that story.
Jesus Christ.
So I don't butcher it with my shit memory. I didn't take Alpha Brain today.
No?
No, I forgot. Forgot to grab it on the way out. Now I'm stupid.
Keeps you sharper?
Oh, for sure. And the phlegm didn't help either.
Yeah.
The phlegm at the beginning of the podcast tied me up.
Whoa.
Connecticut mountain lion walked from South Dakota.
1,500 miles.
140-pound male cougar, which is a big cat, estimated between 2 and 5 years old, almost certainly left its native habitat to look for mates, but went in the wrong direction, according to Adrian Weidivel, animal. How do you say that name? Adrian Weidiven. Weidiven. A mammal ecologist with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. He was looking for love in all the wrong places.
There's one of those expressions.
He was struck by an SUV on the Wilbur Cross Parkway in Milford, Connecticut. I know where that is. I used to play pool around there.
Really?
I used to play pool in Milford. Yeah, in that area. I think it was Milford. On June 11th, the driver was unhurt, but the cougar died at the scene.
Fuck, man.
Whoa.
See, that cougar was just glassing, and the guy hit him.
That's interesting that they initially thought that it had been released from captivity, given that no mountain lion had been sighted in the state for more than 100 years.
Jesus. That's so long, man.
It's crazy. Yeah, they've spotted them in a lot of places, and now they're fact. Like, a big one is Florida.
Yeah.
Florida, the cougars in Florida were like a legend just a few years ago, and now there's a lot of video of them. Have you seen the one where the lady is walking down a fence? She's walking on a bridge, rather. And as she's walking down the bridge, the fucking mountain lion's on the bridge and runs past her, and she films the whole thing, and she's freaking out.
No.
Holy shit.
No.
It's a big one, too. And it's a little narrow-ass wooden bridge. Check this shit out. Like, watch. Give me some volume, Jamie. Give me some fucking volume. Watch this. Where's the volume? Here, watch this. Watch.
Oh, my God.
Watch this.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Whoa.
Are you fucking kidding me? This, for the people listening, not watching, this mountain lion, which is really big, runs by this lady. I guess it's a Florida panther, but it's the same animal.
Right.
It runs by this lady within a couple of feet of her.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe 1 foot.
Right next to her, man.
I mean, and it's huge. This cat is goddamn enormous, but it's, she's lucky that she's standing
Where
up.
was that? Does it say
Florida.
in her description? No, but in her description, does she
It's
say
your mom's
where
house.
She was at my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, your mom lives in Florida.
That's true. That's true. She does. Naples.
Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary.
Yeah, they're eating rednecks out there, folks. Don't fucking kid yourself.
Do not.
Bubba
fuck
went
with
missing,
that.
man. He was out there frogging. He went out there frogging. We never heard from him again.
Oh, there's a lot of shit that can kill you.
Oh yeah, everything eats you. You go out there and like fucking. What was that one? Do you remember that one movie? God damn it, Southern Comfort. Do you remember Southern Comfort?
No.
Southern Comfort is about some National Guard. It's a fucking good movie. God damn it. Before I say that, it might not hold up.
Okay.
It might be one of those movies.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
When you're 16, you're like, dude, Roadhouse is the shit.
Yeah.
Dude, does Patrick Swayze know karate for real? You fucking really asking me that?
Southern Comfort.
Yeah, so it was about these National Guard guys that went down into the swamp, and they were doing some sort of like exercise, and they pissed somebody off, and they got in some sort of an exchange with people, and they shot at someone.
Ooh.
They shot at someone with like blanks. They didn't have real bullets. They were just being an asshole. And when they shot at someone, they shot at like some Cajun guy who like lived in the swamps.
Yeah.
And they set up waiting for these guys, and they took one out with a rifle from a distance. And when he died, they went, "Oh my God!" Like this guy's shot and killed in front of them. And then it became, I don't want to give away, spoiler alert, but it becomes these guys trying to survive in the woods with these crazy fucking Cajun people that have been living there their whole lives.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a good premise.
It's deep, dude. It's deep.
It's
and
no
remember,
pizza sluts, but it's fucking
it's
a
not
good
as good
idea.
as pizza sluts. But see, pizza sluts, you knew it was bullshit going in.
Right.
See, that was the part that this guy didn't get.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking movie. I remember this. Might suck. I'm going to warn you. If you go watch it, Joe Rogan, I saw Altered States. That movie's fucking terrible. And you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Altered States changed my life, but it's terrible.
Yeah. There's a lot of old movies don't hold up.
Nope. Try watching that shit today.
Comedies too. Sometimes you're like, that's the funniest shit, and then you watch it again. You're like,
Someone was telling me that about Stripes. They tried to watch Stripes.
Yeah.
And they're like, this movie's fucking terrible.
Yeah. If you see, I mean, you know the thing that you don't give enough credit to on something like that. Something like Stripes was one of the blueprints for how to make that kind of comedy. And if you're somebody that didn't see Stripes but saw 100 bad versions of Stripes and then you see it, then it looks bad. Because you know formulaically who the characters, you're like, that's this character, that character. You've seen versions of all the jokes. You know it, so then it feels like, oh, this is just another bad, when it's actually the original.
Right. It's also a problem that, like everything else, it just kind of keeps getting better. People get better at it.
Oh, yeah.
Like
right.
Superbad.
Yeah.
Like Superbad didn't exist before Stripes.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And like Stripes kind of opened the door for movies like Superbad. But ultimately, Superbad's funnier.
Yeah, it's better. It's a better movie.
Damn, that movie's funny.
It's really funny, man.
That's a fucking by yourself, holding your sides at home, laughing your ass off funny movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So the ones that they really knock it out of the park today, but it has to be one that they knock it. There's a lot of shit but there's always a lot of shit comedies. There were shit comedies then, there's shit comedies
now. What's a
now.
really good comedy lately? Have you seen one? I don't think I've seen one.
That Fred Eichler Glasson video.
Fucking Glasson's hysterical. Glass. Jamie, you seen a good movie? Good comedy?
I'm looking if I can remember.
I'm trying to remember one that I've seen recently that was really funny. I heard Trainwreck was funny, but I didn't see it. Name one movie.
I'm trying to think.
God damn it! What about a good movie? Have you seen a good movie recently?
I saw Shark Bites, The Shallows. I saw that.
What's that?
I mean, it was just entertaining. It was Blake Lively alone, and sharks after her. You know, it was silly. It wasn't like, for what it was like entertaining.
You know what the problem with movies is now? HBO and Netflix.
They're so fucking
They
badass.
just clanged it over the head.
Yeah.
Like when you watch a new episode of Game of Thrones, you're so goddamn invested in that show.
Well, they can go so much further with where the story's going to go.
Yeah.
They can go so deep. You know, if you know you have 10, 13, 15 hours to tell a story, you can really make those hours meaningful. It's totally different than like a great show that you get into. I mean, it just changed. Like, dude, I think I've told you, if you watch Fargo, the TV series,
I heard it's amazing.
It's fucking unbelievable.
There's too many good shows.
That guy's Noah, I forget his last. That guy's unreal, man. Those shows are so good.
Is Billy Bob Thornton still in it?
Well, no,
Don't tell me anything.
The cast.
Stop saying anything. Don't you spoil alert the fuck.
I won't spoil anything. But you should watch season 1, And
I
then
will
season
watch
2.
it. Don't threaten me though, dude. What?
Say, Deadpool was pretty good. I was like, I don't know if you consider it necessarily
Yes,
full
I
comedy.
would.
But
I would
like,
call that a
it's both.
superhero comedy, and I agree with you. That was really funny.
Deadpool.
That was a good movie.
That was really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And that dude's really funny.
Yeah, Ryan O'Neal. He's funny.
No,
Reynolds.
Well, same guy.
Same guy.
They're all the same
And
guy.
he
handsome guys
he
named Ryan
has
for 1,000, Alex.
his wife is the star of the shark one I saw. That's his wife.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Makes
That's
sense.
why it was great.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. That was a good movie.
Really funny. I wonder if that new one has like a pretty funny trailer. The Aniston work one. You know what I mean?
Christmas
it's like
Office Party.
Yeah,
something
it's it's like an R-rated comedy. It looks like it could be fun. I mean, I haven't seen it. but-
Jennifer Aniston, is that what you just said? It's
Yes.
going to be funny?
I think so.
You just said that?
Yeah, it's got T.J.
Okay.
Miller. It's got some other
You all
people.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I like. Good, solid Jennifer Aniston movie.
Dude, if you're not a fucking Friends, all right. So
I never watched Friends.
no, it's just formulaic, man. It's generic, but people like the
Friends?
characters. Yeah, I think so. Sure, it just it hits all the notes. If you're writing a sitcom, each of those characters plays one of the like archetype people, and they just got people that had chemistry.
I fucked up. I never watched Seinfeld when I was on the air, and I never watched Friends.
Seinfeld's really.
I watched a couple of Frasers, and I would always watch it for like 10 minutes and go, what the fuck am I doing?
Seinfeld's really the only, I think, one that's. If you're a comic,
Did you ever watch Mad About You and go, is there something with the, am I just thinking wrong?
well, I would see people watch it like family members and laughing, and that's when I would think something's wrong with me, and then after all, I was like, you're retarded.
Oh,
You know.
you see what she said to him?
What do you think that is?
You're not retarded.
No,
That's what I think.
The people that are so laughing. Do you think it's an intelligence thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is. Yeah, they're tapping into dull sperm.
Yeah.
They're figuring out the people that. So you saying your fucking sperm's better, bro? Because you like different shows?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You know what I saw that's fucking excellent? All bullshit aside. I don't care what you like. But Black Mirror or Dark Mirror?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched the one
finally.
where the guy. I finally watched it, and I went right to the one where the guy records memories. Everyone can record a
yes.
memory.
Personal DVR.
Yes, that one's
Holy
great.
Ooh, yeah.
shit!
Have you
That's
seen?
exactly what we've been talking
I've been
about
trying to tell you.
for
That
so
one's-
long.
That show's phenomenal. Have you seen
You trying to one up me, you motherfucker?
the masturbation one?
No.
No, I'm saying on that show, on Black Mirror.
What do you mean?
The
There's an episode on masturbation? No,
Yes,
I've
those.
only seen 2 episodes. I saw the first one where the guy fucks the pig, and I saw this is the second one that I saw. It was-
okay.
I went to watch this one specifically
Yeah.
because it's about a subject that we're constantly talking about,
which is
recording memories.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to be able to record memories. It's
Right.
100% it's going to happen.
yeah.
It's just a matter of whether or not we can survive the next 100 years or whatever it is before
Yeah.
we get hit by an asteroid. But one of these days, they're going to just think about how crazy it is that 200 years ago, if you wanted a painting of something, if you wanted a picture of something rather, you would have to paint it.
Yeah.
You'd have to draw it or paint it. And that was so recent.
Yeah.
Just 200 years ago.
It's not long. Yeah.
No photographs ever. So no one had ever seen anything that they didn't see.
Yeah. Yeah.
You either saw it or you didn't see it.
Sure.
So what we have done is let you see things that you're never going to be anywhere near.
Mm-hmm.
Like in some weird way, we've already connected people's memories. Like my memories of, anything, whatever I did this last weekend, I could show it to you on my phone. Hey, we went fishing in Hawaii. Look at some of my memories. I'm
Yeah.
showing you my fucking memories.
Yeah.
They're just shitty. They're like Morse code. They're like, a fucking teletype machine. They're fax. They're not the internet.
And I think it's crazy that like your children will be able to grow up and think about.
How about yours?
Well, yeah, as well. I'm
Why
saying
say my children?
because
Leave
I'm
my fucking
making-
kids out of this, dude.
So my kids will be able to
Let's
watch.
just talk only about your. You show me a cesarean section, you
No,
piece
no,
of shit.
This doctor used the Snapchat spectacles, which is the early version of what you're talking about.
To do a surgery?
Yeah, they showed it like.
Oh, what
and
kind of
put it up on
surgery is
Snapchat.
this?
I'm not exactly
Oh
sure. I
my
just pulled it up.
god,
like
dude!
my
How about a
appendix
little
getting-
warning? How about a heads
This
up?
isn't on there on YouTube.
I gotta
but,
pee, man.
Go pee, bro. I'll watch this
Jesus.
guy get cut open.
But that's a super interesting.
Yes, it's through his
super
eyes, right?
concept, yeah.
So the Snapchat glasses are essentially like cameras that are connected to the internet.
Yeah, to your Snapchat account, I would assume, but yeah.
That's nuts.
Hands-off cameras, so you don't have to.
People love them.
People are having sex on it, and like.
How dare they?
I don't know if they're sharing the porn videos online, but.
But they can watch each other fuck
Yeah.
through that. So it's essentially the same thing. They've already got it. God damn. I knew it. Not like it's anything brilliant that I discovered.
But on that Black Mirror episode, the different concepts that come up with that are super.
They did an
Interesting.
outstanding job. And it was also weird how their eyes would glaze over when they would look at their own stuff. They could look at their stuff through their eyes. I'm giving it away too much, right?
It's okay. It's been out for quite a while.
So what? I didn't see it. Don't spoiler alert things. People are mad at me for spoiler alert in The Walking Dead.
No.
What are you going to do, folks? I said spoiler alert. Just hit that button quick. If you're nowhere near it and you hear spoiler alert and you're not near your phone, you're like, fuck. By the time you get there. We should give them like spoiler alert and then 10 seconds. Like next time we're going to say something about something, we'll say spoiler alert and then we'll count down. That'll be annoying though, right?
For sure.
You know what? Well, I should have like a countdown on my desk, like a little thing that I could press at any moment. It just gives me a flat 10 seconds. Can that be done? And then I'll just keep talking. And I'll go, spoiler alert, and then I'm going to hit the button. What I'm about to tell you, I definitely get out of the fucking room. If you want to know, I'll let you know. You got 7 seconds, 5, 4.
But then how long are you going to talk about it for? 10 minutes?
As
1
long as
minute?
I want.
You get 20 seconds.
Tough shit. You've been warned. But what I thought was really interesting in the Black Mirror thing is that when they had that one late, I can't talk about that. I'll spoiler alert it. But I just thought the way they handled it was really, really well done because it seemed like normal people of today that were faced with this technology. It was as opposed to like Westworld is weird to me. I love Westworld. I'm a huge fan of it, but it's weird to me that it's 30 years in the future, but everything is pretty standard. Like the way they're doing everything with a tablet and everything, the way they're walking around, their apartments, it all looks kind of the same. Whereas if you go to 1970 and you look at 1970 as opposed to the year 2000, there's a giant difference in that 30 years. I would think that whatever the fuck, I mean, if they're that close to, they made these goddamn robots and then 30 years later, they're still fairly similar. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like 30 years later, you guys are still using iPads? Like, really? Is that what's going on? Like, you haven't transcended into new dimensions? We're not walking through artificial black holes that you make with your blender now? I mean, 30 years from now, someone could create some mind-numbing, world-changing shit. It's not just going to be a robot you can fuck or shoot. You know, it's going to probably be over. That's the only, like, suspension of disbelief thing that fucks with me, is that they've been doing that park for 30 years.
Yeah, I was after watching it and having theories on it. That could be like maybe. That's all they've shown us so far.
Theories.
It might not be the actual.
You don't want to hear my theory?
What's up?
How come when, for spoiler alert, if you cut them open, you see the robot parts?
One of them.
But when you're building them, no, when ones were murdered, when he murked all those people and chopped them all up, remember that? There was scenes you see like robot parts sticking out of people. They were all laying down. The whole scene
I
was...
remember seeing the inside of Dolores, the chick.
I forget who... Anyway, there was that. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. But when you watch them construct the things, you don't see any of that stuff.
You see synthetic bone or something
exactly. Like that. So what the fuck is going on, Jamie?
That's what I'm saying. Did you see that last scene where they show the girl's arm ripped off?
I know. Did you hear that they're not going to... Red Band told me this. They're not going to do season 2 until 2018?
Yeah, well, I mean, they have announced that they're going to do it, and they probably have to... It's 2017 now, basically. They have to film it.
By 2018, you think Bert will still be fat?
100%. Absolutely.
Wow. You're really committed to this.
Of course, man.
He's a guy with feelings.
I know, and I love him. He's one of my best friends. I would do anything for that guy.
If you could get inside his head and change him,
yeah,
would you get him to stop drinking?
No.
What about after January 3rd?
Definitely not.
No?
I want him to be happy.
The only way he'll be happy is if he keeps drinking.
Absolutely.
Maybe with new technology, they'll figure out a way to fix your liver.
Maybe.
They'll have like a stem cell liver cleanse, and they'll just pump that shit in there. And
way into the Bert is thin future. Maybe they'll do something like that.
And maybe Bert will have to drink more because his liver will be so good that the booze won't last. It gets sober up in like 20 minutes.
You gotta start fucking partying harder. He's a fun guy to party with.
Oh, yeah, he is. Have you ever seen him do stand-up with a shirt on?
Yes, back in the day.
How many times?
I saw him for a while doing it. He used to do it. He only started doing that, I feel like, about 2 years ago, maybe 3. I feel like it's fairly recent in the time that I've known him and seen him do stand-up.
And
I think it was
since then. Have you ever seen him do stand-up with a shirt on?
No, the
I haven't
no.
either.
Yeah, it's but it works. It's almost like part of the persona, you know.
Well, it's like I forget when he didn't used to. Dude, is he bigger than you, or is it just me?
No, man, no, we're about the same. About the same size.
How does his pants stay right above his dick like that. That seems impossible. It seems like
there's a belt. There's a belt right there.
Yeah, but that's a different photo.
Oh, look at
that's
Moshe.
Moshe Kasher showing his
He's got
goods.
tidy whities.
Moshe's a funny guy too, man. He's got a new show coming out on Comedy Central.
Yeah, that's it's a really cool idea.
I'm sure it will
Bringing
be.
back the talk
He's
show.
a very smart dude.
Yeah.
Very, very smart. Is that Brian Callen showing his abs with Bert Kreischer? Right below that?
Is that Eddie Ift?
Oh, it's Eddie Ift.
Yeah.
See, I'm so sorry, Brian. But when that's a little tiny image, it does look like Brian Callen.
Yeah.
Tell me it doesn't.
Damn, look at Eddie.
Eddie's
Jeez.
shredded.
Fuck. So's Bert. Looks good there.
No, that's not true at all. Eddie is in CrossFit shit.
Oh, is he?
Loves CrossFit.
Bert's just got that bloated, distended thing, though.
Well, that's
you know?
booze.
That's what I'm saying. That's it.
There's no way you can get out of that?
I think he could.
What's he down to now? What's he claiming?
I don't know, because he hasn't claimed it in a minute.
Oh. Well, here's a photo that he keeps bringing
That's
up
old.
of him back when he was real thin.
Yeah.
When he was real young, like in college.
That's hilarious.
He keeps bringing that one up. But getting back to that, bro.
And he did his promo for last week, where he used a 10 to 15-year-old picture, but he just put it like with the date and the, you know, and he was so much thinner in it. It was ridiculous. But he was just like, "I'll be here this week."
That's hilarious.
It's really funny.
Yeah, it's not fun when you watch your body get big and fat and you can't turn it around.
Yeah, I mean you can. Well, not everybody. I'm saying that like we're in a position to do it. That's why I think this is a good thing.
Well, everybody can. I
Well,
think.
yeah, look.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's like 2,000.
It's weird that he decided to use that picture. Maybe he's trying to fuck with you.
He was. Oh, absolutely.
let
Do
you
you know what
know?
he did? Oh, I didn't
What'd
tell
he
you what
do?
he did. This is so fucking funny. So this is it. This is what I was going to tell you.
Congrats on the new house, The Rock.
Bert
did he really get a package from The Rock?
Bert sent me a
Bernd
box
Chrysler?
Bernd Chrysler sent me a box of cookies, and that was the card. Because he's tagged The Rock on a few things, and The Rock has retweeted it and mentioned him. And he told me about it. So then he sent me a box of cookies to the house, and it said, "Congrats on the new house, The Rock." So that was Bert trying to fuck with me, having me eat cookies, and then it's coming from The Rock.
Got it.
So I gave him away immediately.
Good for you,
Of
dude.
course, man.
Good for you.
Yeah, we're in a battle, dude.
Yeah, I eat sugar-free pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
No.
Every time I eat them, I'm just gonna fucking trick my body with this sugar-free pudding.
Yeah.
It's got high protein. It's high-protein sugar-free pudding. There's something that it does to your ass.
Oh, really?
There's something that happens
Kind of
when
stinky.
it mixes up with real food.
Yeah.
It's a gang fight between fucking sugar-free. Maybe I'm eating the wrong kind. I don't know. Maybe there's a good one
My
out there.
dumps are less horrific in the last 30 days for sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, the more salad you eat,
Yeah.
the more it's going to be real smooth.
Yeah.
That's a big one with people. People that just eat meat, man, you're doing your body a disservice.
Yeah.
You got to eat a lot of vegetables. So important.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to do it because, God damn it, if you got a cheeseburger with blue cheese on it, you see the blood just kind of like dripping onto
Yeah.
the bun. Put some jalapenos on that bitch.
Good shit, man.
Maybe some mayonnaise, some thick fucking dark red tomatoes, and some juicy iceberg lettuce, and you want to get busy with that cheeseburger.
For sure. That's my favorite, I think.
I think you should eat a half of one. Take it from me, the guy who eats 3 meals.
Yeah.
Just eat a half a cheeseburger. Just put it away.
Yeah.
Eat a salad.
Salad's good. I like salad.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm going in on it, man.
Do you ever do kale shakes?
No.
Time to step it up.
Step it up to kale
Time
shakes?
to step up your game. Let's make a video. Make
Okay.
a video. I'll bring the ingredients over to your house, and
Okay.
I'll bring you a Blend Tech blender as a housewarming gift.
Shit.
You need one of these. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to make them so they taste good,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to show you how I do it.
Yours tastes like shit?
Brutal.
Okay.
They're brutal. But I swear to God,
Mm-hmm.
you'll drink this and you'll want to run up the side of a fucking mountain and punch a mountain lion right in the dick.
You eat this every morning?
Woo! No,
This- I used
no,
to-
no, no,
no.
I don't think it's smart to eat a lot of the same things all the time. I think it's
Mix it
good
up.
to mix it up a little
Okay.
bit. But when I do it, I feel it. I mean, I always drink. Like you saw when I came in here, I was eating a big salad. I always eat
Yeah.
salads. I'm
Yeah.
eating a lot of vegetables, but the amount of nutrition that you get in a kale shake, like think about, like, this is what I take. This is my recipe. I take 4 big stalks of kale. Like
4?
Yeah, 4. Chop that shit up. Chop, 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 chop. Then I take a cucumber. Chop that bitch up. Chop, 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 chop. Then I take a giant chunk of ginger. Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost like a pager. Like a half a pager. Like a half a pager is good.
Yeah.
Throw that bitch in there. 4 cloves of garlic. Get in there,
4
bitch.
cloves.
4 cloves. And I used to go with a full pear, but then I go with a half a pear now. Now I go a half a pear.
You don't get diarrhea immediately?
Oh,
with
you
it?
should.
Okay.
You should.
Okay.
That's going to be part of the fun.
Okay.
Then on top of that, 4 stalks of celery, or 2 stalks of celery, and then MCT oil. MCT oil is important because in order for your body to accurately process, like to get the most, like more efficiently process vitamins, you want them to be attached to fats in a lot of the cases. A lot of different vitamins are like your body absorbs them better with fats, and MCT oil is healthy fat, and it's good for brain function, a lot of other different things. That's where it gets tricky. You can't put too much in.
Oh.
Because if you put too much in, your asshole.
Well, really. Yeah.
It just protests.
Yeah.
It protests. It goes on a riot. You go on an asshole riot. Like I've had some asshole riots where you're walking like towards the bathroom and you all of a sudden out of nowhere, like you have to take a shit.
Yeah.
And you go like, oh well, I'll go in the bathroom. And you're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. Like you see the bathroom and you're like, whoa. I don't know what the number is, but to me, caution. Err on the side of caution. With the MCT oil, maybe just a couple of tablespoons full is plenty.
It's oil, so like there's this restaurant I used to go to on the east side, Don Felix Peruvian place, and they would make this dish called lomo saltado, which is so good. It's a hardcore lomo saltado.
That sounds like you should be on Narcos, bro.
Man, it's a fucking traditional Peruvian dish with meat, potato, like chopped up fries, basically, tomatoes, rice, but they would make it on a pan with lots of oil. I used to be able to fart songs after it. Like with total control. I could be like bum, 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 because of so much oil in my system.
It's probably really good for you.
Yeah. Fuck. You got to try this, man. I'll take you to this place if you want to go.
Did you see that article that was released that showed that the sugar companies in the 1950s were bribing scientists to report that it was saturated fat that was causing people to get sick and have heart attacks?
Don't
talk about sugar. It was the 50s, right? 60s. And we've been saying that ever since. So 50 years ago, someone lied. Look at that. Isn't that? It's crazy because all these years, people have like automatically connected saturated fat and heart disease, saturated fat and all these problems. But there's like a need that your body has for saturated fat.
For
like
sure.
a lot of these scientists that did this, they just fucking lied. They were paid off by the sugar industry to make it seem like saturated fat was what's fucking people up. However, someone just sent me, Dr. Rhonda Patrick actually, just sent me something, an article that there's a new study that came out that shows that the real problem they think now with saturated fats is when saturated fats are mixed with processed foods. That processed foods and saturated fats together as a combination, like processed sugars and things along those lines, mixed with saturated fats can be very bad for you.
Right. So it's just, you can go on the fat kick, but don't mix it with that sugar.
Right. But even we were talking about this before the podcast, or we were talking about the beginning of the podcast. The protein thing was before the podcast.
before the podcast, yeah.
It's all moderation. It's all balance. Like you can't have too much protein.
Yes.
If you eat too much protein, your body starts to convert it to sugar.
Dude, that's what I was doing with meat all the time.
Yeah.
I was having way too big of portions. And then you see like what a recommended portion of it is, and then you're like, oh, that's not bad. That's normal. I was just eating too much of it. Too much protein. You
want to be on, like, if you want to do, you're trying to do a fat burning ketogenic diet. It's like, I think they say it's 75%, 75% fats.
Right.
And then the rest is like 20% protein.
It's like 15
5% carbs.
Yeah.
That's right. Something, is that what it is?
That's about it, yes.
Somewhere around those numbers. But we have one of those, grab one of those Myoplex bags, Jamie, that we got in the back. There's this new company, not new company, it's old ass company. They've been around forever that make, I have no affiliation with these people, and this is not an ad.
It's like a keto-friendly powder?
Yeah, they make like a pack.
Yeah.
And it's a keto meal that you could like shake it. Like if you're on the go and you don't want to fuck up and eat something, see those things right there?
Yep. I ordered these.
Yeah.
I got a cinnamon.
They don't taste
Yeah.
bad. So
No.
it's like 75% fat, 20% protein, 5%.
It's, by the way, it's a
carbs.
lot of powder. Like,
Yeah.
if you try to put this in 8 ounces, it's a fucking ton.
Yeah, I put it in one of those Yeti tumblers, and I mixed it up with carbonated water like an asshole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is how stupid I am. Did you find that in there? Did you see that mug in there? I got this new soda from this company called Zevia. Have you ever had that shit? This is like a big ad that's not an ad. It's they make soda with stevia.
Oh, okay.
So they have soda, they have like energy drinks, and then they have this sparkling water. That
How
just
is
has
it?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I like stevia. If you like the flavor of stevia, it's good.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of got like a flavor to it, but it doesn't fuck with you. You know, like if I still love a Coca-Cola. I mean, I know it's kind of syrupy and fucked up, but if you're eating ribs, you know,
There's nothing better.
come
I
on,
agree.
son. So
I
that's
agree.
one of them's a peach and one of them's a lime. Those are the sparkling water ones. So those
Yeah.
are like very, very mild. And they have other ones that are like a soda.
I'm gonna try one.
Get open, get done, get down with it, Tommy. Pass me one of those bitches.
Yeah,
what do you
man.
got? Pass me.
I'm
the green one.
trying mandarin orange. I'm giving you lime.
But and again, this is not an ad, folks. So I don't own Zevia, but I think
Thanks,
it's
Zevia.
super important to just try. Just I mean, even if it's one time for a bet, like Tommy's doing it, just
Ooh.
not bad. Just try to be fucking healthy. Try.
Yeah.
Try, goddammit. You'll feel better.
That's the thing, is ultimately, even if you don't get to like some crazy level, your fantasy level of it, you're still doing better than you were. You still will feel better.
You want to get down with the Hulk loads?
Yeah, man. I want to
That's
try
the
it.
kale shake. It's called
Yeah,
Hulk loads.
Hulk loads. I remember. I've heard that.
Yeah. You got to try it. You're going to drink it and you're going to go, holy shit, because you have to kind of chew it as you're swallowing it.
Yeah.
It's like a sludgy sort of a thing.
Yeah.
You got to kind of choke it down. And then we'll work out. We'll make a video.
Okay.
We'll do it, and then we'll, like, 45 minutes later, we'll work out. You're going to be like, holy shit.
All right.
Dude, I feel good.
Heavy bag. I got the heavy bag.
Let's do that.
I got hex squats.
Let's do that shit.
Elliptical.
How about
also.
we'll do that, and then I'll do your podcast.
Let's do it.
Let's switch it up.
Let's do it.
Are you
man.
guys up and running in the new spot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's ready, man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Love it.
Do you
love it,
guys
man.
stream live?
No.
Do you make videos and then you put it up later?
We have cameras. We've had 2 cameras set up, 1 camera set up, where I give it to an editor afterwards.
Okay.
And he just layers up the high quality audio with the video, and we upload
okay.
it later. Yeah.
Oh, that's
but
cool.
we put it up. It goes up every Tuesday night.
Okay.
So tonight one will go up.
So are you guys doing one a week now, or are you doing 2?
It's one a week,
Just
every
one?
single. Yeah, we do. I mean, it's pretty. It sounds funny because we've talked about like fucking. It feels like there's not time to do anything. You know, like we feel like it's a lot to get that one done, and there is a lot of production in that. Like we play the clips and there's all that stuff that goes into it, and then we'll talk about like, dude, one is demanding on us, and then we like, oh, Joe did 3.5 hour ones this week. You know?
But I'm super sloppy and I don't plan out.
Well, I'm just saying, it ends up being they're totally different in like in shows, but yeah, we do the one consistently every single.
Well,
week.
you have a show.
Yeah.
I mean, your show is a real show. This is like a recording of a conversation.
That's true. That's true.
So you guys have like a bunch of shit going on that happens over and over again. You have games you play.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different animal.
You're totally right. But yeah, I love the new studio space. Is fucking gorgeous. It's a film composer's house, so he used to score movies there, and we have this much too nice studio for where we're doing our fart show.
Do you guys have the kind of internet where you could stream at a high level?
Yeah, if we went went hardwire, yeah, we could do that. Sure.
Yeah. There's a benefit to that. Like there's a benefit to that if anything is getting wacky.
Yeah.
In the world, maybe you
right.
want to
You're
stream
doing
something
immediate?
live. Yeah, like Duncan and I once we streamed the president addressing the country.
Do you still do Ustream?
No, we just do YouTube. We're doing YouTube right now.
Oh, it's YouTube Live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just more versatile.
Yeah.
And it didn't mess up as much. We had problems.
Yeah.
But I think Ustream's better now.
Huh.
But they're always upgrading, and it was great though. I mean,
Yeah.
it allowed us to do this in the first place. But
So wait-
YouTube also, it's just
Your president thing, though.
more used by people.
Sure.
So we watched the president talk about Syria. Like Duncan and I watched it live, and we were talking about it live while it was happening.
Wow.
Like almost like a fight companion to
Sure.
a presidential address.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just real weird, man.
Those fight campaigns are massive, right? Like those go nuts.
Those are fun as hell.
Yeah.
Those are really fun to do.
Yeah.
But every time we do them, Eddie Bravo gets drunk and wants to talk about the Illuminati. That's like half the fun of it.
The conversation goes everywhere?
The conversation goes everywhere, but Eddie Bravo will always bring it around to conspiracy theories.
He loves it. Is he still onto the chemtrails?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, aerosol spraying. They're spraying, which, you know, it's probably been done somewhere. At one point in time, for sure. Listen, 100%. Someone went in a plane and dumped some shit out of the plane.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure, the government's done it somewhere. For sure. For sure, there's probably some evil agency somewhere that has decided to fucking test out some shit on people.
Yep.
And there's been stuff that's been proven, that's been done. Like, I want to say it was either Detroit or Chicago. I forget what it was. But they sprayed some particles that they could track. They sprayed it into the air in the city to determine what kind of impact a bomb, like a dirty bomb,
so
or
biological
warfare, something along those lines, either a nuclear fallout or biological warfare, like how far it would travel given like a certain amount of wind. So I think they actually like used giant fans and shit and blew some stuff in the air and then tracked it. But
let's see how many people get sick.
I don't think they did that though. They didn't. No. That's where the misconception is. I think what they did was they used a trackable particle.
Oh, okay.
Because they wanted to figure out how much. The only way to find out, like say, look, the wind is blowing 20 miles an hour. Some shit gets blown up 200 miles or 200 feet rather above the buildings. How far is it going to spread?
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking at that, the only way to tell is to try out something. So they took some sort of, I think it was like a reflective particle or a traceable particle. So conspiracy theorists always point to that as being like proof that they have done that on innocent people.
Sure.
Which they definitely did. I mean, I don't know what happened to those people, but shit happens to people all the time. If you're like too close to this or too close to that, and then they find out, oh yeah, that kills you. Turns out you can't do that.
Yeah. Unreal.
Turns out you can't eat paint.
A lot of people do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see that video I put up of that kid doing a fucking front flip over this gigantic overpass?
I saw some dude on top of a building doing retarded shit.
I've done those. I mean, I put those up. I put them up every time I can, but I reposted this one of this fucking kid. He goes running up to the side of this edge and then flips over this impossible distance. I mean, it's fucking impossible how far he runs. Watch this.
Oh my God. Come on.
Yep.
That's not real, is it?
It's 100% real.
Really?
Look at him do it. Dude, he did a front flip over, that's death. Like, if you miss, that's death. You hit that concrete, you break your legs, that's death.
Fuck me, man.
These kids are crazy. They're doing the nuttiest shit lately. It's like white people are trying to evolve.
Yeah.
White people are trying... They're trying to get, like, crazier and faster.
We need an edge, bro. We need our edge.
White people are doing ridiculous things.
Asians got the numbers. Blacks have their
music.
music.
Look at this guy. He's riding a rail over the side of a fucking bridge, and the wind is blowing, and he's on a bike.
Fuck.
What in the fuck is going through your mind while you are risking certain death just slightly to the left of you, and you're riding on, what is that, 3 inches? How wide is that?
Yeah.
3 inches? About the size of your dick? About 3 inches?
I'm more of 2 and
You're
change.
girthy?
Yeah. No, I'm definitely thinner. I'm thin and curly.
Like a duck's dick?
Yeah, man. It goes around and around.
Have you ever seen a duck's dick?
I haven't. I think I've seen a pig's dick.
Ducks
Maybe
are
I said
ducks.
too.
My friend Andreas Antonopoulos is Bitcoin expert. Explained to me about duck dicks. He gave me slightly wrong information. He said they were like 4 feet long. Turns out they are about 13 inches long now.
It's a big old dick.
Big old hog.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have these crazy dicks, and their dicks are like, when they're extended out, they're like almost as long as their body. It's really weird.
Wow.
And these ducks, their dicks are twisty.
Yeah.
And the female duck's vagina is like a fucking twisty mountain road.
Uh-huh.
And like he's got to find a way
Work
in.
that dick in there.
And the female can let him in. That's what their dick looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one obviously with no duck.
Yeah.
That's a homeless dick. But that's what.
Look at that
Look at
thing.
that. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
The pictures of these ducks. That's a little bit a little bit exaggerated because it's an illustration.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real duck.
It's like a corkscrew.
And that one's obviously he's dead, so it's probably
Yeah.
not hard, right? But it's this crazy weird thing where the male penis has to go through this weird kind of twisty turny corridor in the female duck, and the female duck can decide to let him in or not. She can just shut him down, and they're super rapey. Like,
Real
see,
aggressive.
look at that one white one on top of the other one, that one bird. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's just that's what they do. They just jack each other.
Yeah, he looks like he's talking shit too. He's right over her ear.
And we can look at them and we could say, "Oh, that's rude. That's horrible."
Yeah.
Why don't we stop and pause and realize this is the same fucking kind of animal that we just saw swoop down and jack that other fucking bird right out of a tree?
What distance do you think he saw that bird from when he
The
decided?
owl? Probably
Yeah.
a long way. They could probably see like a mile.
That far?
Yeah, they probably could see ridiculous distances. There's a lot of animals that could see ridiculous
Ooh.
distances. A turkey apparently has insane vision. They say a turkey. You ever look through binoculars? Like, you ever been glassing?
I've glassed before. Yeah.
Well, let me
On boats mostly.
Let me give you some glassing knowledge, Tommy.
Yeah.
Your average, the average binoculars that a hunter or sportsman or a bird watcher will take in the woods, like there's a bunch of varieties. For hunting, usually people either go with like 10 by 42 or 8 by 42. It's like 8 times the size, and 42 is like the aspect ratio, right? The width of the image that you're looking at.
Okay.
Like a good pair of binoculars is like a 10 by 42. A turkey naturally sees 20x. So a turkey naturally sees 20 times better than you.
Really?
Yep. And they see in full color. So they can see you. They see you. They see you better than you see you. So you like literally have to be completely covered up if you want to hunt turkeys. You have to cover your face up. You have to cover your hair
So they
up.
turn that head and
they
this-
look right at you.
yeah.
They know that's a person. Let me get the fuck out of here. Like they see you from way off.
Wow.
Because turkey, the life of a turkey is so brutal. Most turkeys don't get to be 2. Most
Really?
of them. Yeah, most of them that survive at all, like when they're little, coyotes jack them.
No idea they had that kind of vision.
Insane vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane.
And my vision's been deteriorating.
Mine too.
I started wearing reading glasses.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
My dad glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. I just accepted it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not fighting it.
It is what it is. Apparently there's some exercises that you can do to get better at it, but I'm so lazy.
People
that
try
I
to convince
don't-
you to do LASIK?
No. Because
going?
LASIK doesn't work on someone who has macular degeneration, like when you get older.
Oh.
Like what you're having when you get older, when you're losing your close vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I forget. Somebody told me the actual term of it. Like my friend Steve, who's an ophthalmologist, he actually told me the term of it.
My
Ocular degeneration, maybe.
Looking up treatments for macular degeneration, and laser therapy is one. You can have injections into
Well,
your eye.
Google instead of that. Google nearsightedness due to old age.
Do you know the
solutions?
what the latest technology is, by the way?
Fake eyes. They're gonna give you eyes, so you can stare straight in the
My
sun.
ophthalmologist told me he was part of the team that developed it. They sew lenses, corrective lenses, into your eyes now.
Are you down with that?
No.
But
He was
it
like, you don't
doesn't
need
adjust.
it. He told me, I don't know. He goes, you don't need it. He goes, but if you had worse vision, it's definitely something we would do.
Here's the thing. Like when you're looking at something, like I see you perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I put glasses on, I'll probably see you a little better. Like, let me see. Slightly. You got a light dullness to you. I put the glasses on.
Personality-wise? Oh, no.
Your
Okay.
personality's amazing. A lot of people have been shitting on you lately. I don't know why.
Hey, man.
That's one of them backhanded
Yeah.
fuck with your head comments.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of people say you suck. I don't agree at all. I think you're amazing.
I've always had a
Like,
thing
hey,
for you.
what the fuck, dude? But up close, big difference. Like at a distance, I can see crystal clear.
Yeah.
Like that sign that says on air, I see that. It's very sharp.
Yeah.
But when I look at things like on my phone, I have to
Same
go
way,
like,
man.
"Urgh."
Reading computers,
I used to be able to
phones.
read it perfectly.
It snuck up on me, man. Snuck up on me.
Some people say it's from staring at screens. Some people say it's just a function of being older.
Yeah.
Some people say that there's a combination of factors, but also one thing that doesn't help is that we're constantly staring at something that's a fixed distance.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the way some people put it is that it's like, who was the woman? Katie Bowman. Katie Bowman, when she was on the podcast, she's an expert in human movement, and she believes she's got a lot of pretty nutty ideas. Like they don't use furniture, they sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Like and she thinks that like looking at something that's like really close distance is like having a cast for your eyes almost. Like when you put your arm in a cast, it atrophies.
Right.
Because you're not using it the right way.
And we've been like this for years.
Yeah, we've been looking at screens.
That's not a bad theory, at least.
Dude, I got super baked once, and Aubrey and I did a podcast, and I went off on this tangent that's been fucking with me ever since. We were talking about screens, that if you looked at human beings, and if you didn't know anything about us, you'd be like, oh, they worship the screens.
Yeah.
Because all we do, you get up in the morning, you check your phone, you check your email. You go to work, you stare at your screen in a cubicle. You come home, you watch a little TV. You go on the weekend, oh, we're going to go see a flick. You're staring at fucking screens. Like if something that didn't understand, something that didn't understand what those images were, or didn't care, or was trying to judge you based on entirely on your actual movement and interaction, they would be like, oh my God, they're slaves to the screen.
Yeah.
Like they don't even understand.
We have to get in these screens.
Well, we're slaves to watching these screens. If you stop and think about how often you spend your time staring at a screen.
It's significant. It's significant.
Giant.
Yeah.
It's hours and hours of almost everybody's life.
When you put it that
day.
way, it's depressing, too. It's really depressing.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's not staring at the screen. We're watching Westworld. I'm checking my Twitter. I'm checking my email. I'm taking a photo. I'm going to put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Let's make a video. Hey, let's make a video of you eating the kale shake. Let's put it on YouTube. But what's ultimately going on is people are interacting with screens to get all this energy.
Yeah.
And you want a better screen all the time. You want to constantly have this bitch faster and upgrade it, and it wants to do more things, and now it's virtual. Now you can get the screen, and it's in your head. You can see 360 degrees all around you. And then it's just more and more and more screens.
All right, man. You fucking scared me. Are you happy now?
Spark this joint back up.
Oh, my God.
Freaking myself out, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus. Do you worry about screens, Tommy? Worry about them haunting you?
No.
Do they call you at night? Check your phone.
No, I want to be in
Somebody
screen.
might have texted in the
I want to be in screen denial. I do look at screens. I get yelled at for checking the phone too much. Yeah, I do.
I was proud of myself today.
Just for not checking?
Left my phone in the car when I took my yoga class.
And then you
ran out to it afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Just check.
Yeah.
Make sure some new crazy shit
It's
didn't
addictive.
go on in the world.
It's addictive.
So addictive.
Yeah. It's a real addiction, too. I see it. It's Christina always talks about it. We're at restaurants, and you see the family together.
Constantly.
And then you're
probably looking at my family.
That kid
probably
is
looking at me.
The kid is like and like there's no interaction at the table.
Well, when we're at all bullshit aside, when they get tired, like when kids get tired, this is what you find too. It's good. You can kill that. And especially if you want to have a conversation with, it's not a bad thing to occasionally let them look at an iPad or play a game, like if it's on a plane or something like that.
Sure.
But oftentimes, you can get the same kid, like as engaged, especially if they like books.
Yeah.
Just give them a book to read. So instead of sitting there playing a game, which is kind of mindless, they're reading a book, which can kind of expand their imagination. However, there's also some arguments against that it's mindless, because there's a lot of arguments about video games that although video games are kind of problematic for little kids because they do just become super addictive, they also can expand your mind. And there's examples of people that have done tests that have shown that video games actually can make you smarter because they make you constantly exercising parts of your brain that solve problems.
Dude, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I
depends on the game, right?
Depends on the game. Depends on, on the system, maybe, but like there's definitely games you can play where I feel like there's something going on in your brain when you're efficient, you're at a higher level performing in that game.
Yeah.
Where if you put somebody slower into the same game, they can't do it. Like they're not moving at that. I'm not saying that means you're going to be great at everything, but there's something in your brain functioning, moving well, to be able to put together how to play this game and play at really high level.
Yeah, man.
And there's people you can teach. I mean, have you ever tried to show someone how to play a game and they just can't get it?
Yeah.
You can't get it. They don't know how to do it.
Or they don't have any desire, so they never try.
Yeah, but I've seen people try, which I think stands out more. They just are not good at it. You need a lot more practice. Whereas some people can just pick up, and I think those people come from a world of playing growing up, right? Like imagine today's kid who's born now playing through like these level games that are out now, how he's going to be fluent in that whole technology, cyber stuff in 15, 20 years.
Yeah, you got to work them through it, right?
Yeah.
Like my 6-year-old is just now figuring out that she can't beat me in tic-tac-toe.
Really?
She's like, this motherfucker, I can't beat him. I'm like, you're never going to win. I go, it's going to be a draw every time.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, why? I go, because it's a dumb game. It's a dumb game that puzzles you when you're young. But as you get older, you realize tic-tac-toe is fucking stupid. Unless you can make 2 moves in a row, it's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
You know, because you do this, oh, I'm going to see you're going to go over here, so I'll do that.
I'll do that,
And
yeah.
you do this, oh, well, I'm going to go over here, so you can't do that. And then, oh, well, draw. There's another
And
draw.
You draw every time?
Every time.
And she
I
never
don't let her
loses
screw
either?
up. No, I don't let her screw
okay,
up.
okay.
I've beaten her before.
Yeah.
But now I offer some sort of a path. I'm like, think about what's going on here. Oh, she goes, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
I give her a little pause. I don't go, oh, you fucked up.
Right. You suck. You don't do that.
I try to teach her along the way because she's only 6. If she's 16 and I was still kicking her ass at tic-tac-toe, listen, dummy.
Yeah. What a waste tuition was on your
The only way
ass.
someone beats you at tic-tac-toe is if you're not paying attention, right?
True. Yeah, you have to miss something if you're keyed into it. Yeah.
Unless there's some crazy move that I don't know about.
I haven't played in a while, so it's hard to say actually.
Is there a world tic-tac-toe championship?
I'm sure there is.
If you had to guess.
Yes.
How smart is the person that won it?
Fucking genius. Stephen Hawking level shit.
Who is he playing?
It's from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Imagine Neil deGrasse Tyson and Richard Dawkins doing a
What do you
tic-tac-toe
even say?
competition.
Do you say that at the end of tic-tac-toe? Forget. Is that supposed to be the call
Yeah,
of the
you're
winner?
supposed to say tic-tac-toe, I guess,
Yeah.
but nobody ever does. It's like trick or treat. The little fuckers just show up with open bags.
Put it in, man.
Stare at you.
Yeah. You got Snickers? Yeah, I got it.
It's weird when you see that one kid that's just a little too old for trick or treat. It starts to get creepy. It's like trick or treating is fun.
How do you
up until
handle
about
it in your
16.
neighborhood?
Give them candy.
No, but do you have everyone come to the front door? Do you and like it's a whole thing?
Yeah, they ring doorbells and you know, we go walking around the neighborhood too. It's fun.
It's like
Kids
a designated
fucking
day
love it.
for it. And
Yeah, well, Halloween.
Well, no, some places like they do it like there's like the
Like they
kids
do it
will
in a
go
day?
out the day before if it's like depending on the day of the week, you know.
You can't do that.
No?
You got to do Halloween when it's Halloween, you
I guess.
motherfuckers.
I haven't been out in a
What are
while.
you trying to take over America? There's a coup going on. Haven't you
Yeah.
been paying attention? The Russians have canceled Halloween. Motherfuckers.
I just thought about how dumb I go, so would you have a day that you do it? And you go, yeah, it's Halloween.
It's fucking Halloween. It's pot, man. It's
Yeah.
goddamn pot. It's terrible
Yeah.
for you.
Terrible, man.
It just makes you dumb. It makes you ask questions you should have thought through.
Yeah, like what day is Halloween? Yeah.
The same day every year.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's not the same day every year, right? Because it's
Right.
on Thursday always.
Right. So the number, right? The date. It's
Yeah.
always that third Thursday, is it?
What kind of stupid shit is that?
I don't know.
Why is it fucking Thursday? Why are you pretending that those goddamn pilgrims ever sat down with those Native Americans like that? That shit didn't happen. They didn't even speak the same language. Those original people that landed. Have you ever read some of the accounts of Christopher Columbus's atrocities that he committed?
I know that there's a lot of people that are appalled by
Columbus Day?
Yeah.
How is
for
it
sure.
still a day?
I think it's outrageous. Do you ever think about what you learned in school about
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
How
How
do we
nice
not-
they made it? They're
How
like,
do
it
we
was
not have a Native American Day, but we have a Columbus Day?
That's really outrageous. Yeah, I know. And Thanksgiving, they used to be like, and then this guy was like, oh, are you eating alone? Sit over here. And then that's how they became best friends. Like that's how they taught. That's
Yeah.
what they taught us in school.
And they ate turkey.
Yeah. And then they were like, even though you're different, let's all hang out.
Let me tell you something. They weren't shooting many turkeys.
Yeah.
Unless the turkeys didn't know any better.
Right.
Like as soon as the turkeys figured out what the fuck they were doing,
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh yeah, you can't shoot us like that. We're just gonna fucking
Turkeys were
fly
looking
away."
over that meadow like,
Yeah, they had those shitty guns, those
Yeah.
musket guns. They had those flints and shit.
yeah.
Those things
Low.
were inaccurate.
Push it down.
Yeah. Well, not in the distance. I mean, I don't know how far they could shoot those things, but they were shooting deer, most likely. They were eating deers.
Yeah. Thanksgiving should be more like
Deer.
the fucking purge, right? It should be just a bloodbath holiday. Like you get to kill everybody. It's Thanksgiving, just like our ancestors did.
Well, it's not our ancestors.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mine came over in a boat pretty recently. Like I could track
Really?
mine. Yeah. So if anybody says, like, "Hey, man, your ancestor," nope, they didn't do anything. Didn't own any slaves.
I
Came over
tracked-
from Italy in the 1900s.
I tracked mine back to the 1700s.
That's when they came over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're a killer.
Yeah.
Your whole family's responsible for atrocities.
This guy, actually, we got a report on him at a family reunion.
Oh shit!
We had like this.
The guy who came over?
Yeah.
What was he like?
They say he was a real piece of shit. It kind of ruined the family reunion. Yeah. It was not real cool.
What did he do?
Murdered somebody.
Oh my god!
It was a Spanish guy. He came from Andalusia, and he really. They said, you know, they read his will, and they're like, and then he left 30 slaves to this person. We were like, oh, whoa. You want to get another drink? This is getting uncomfortable, like that kind. And then they said he killed somebody in Louisiana, and they're like, and he hung someone from this tree, and it was like a real savage dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's in your blood, and you're the nicest guy ever.
I know, man.
How'd that happen?
I don't know, but you know, that's my granddad.
Great granddad or granddad?
Oh no, this is like great. Like,
I'm like, damn, how old
like
do your people
10.
live?
No, 10 greats, man. It's super removed from me.
Like that's amazing. Your people live forever.
No, this guy would come over in like early 1700s.
It's so weird to think that a human being gets, if they're super, super lucky, they get like 90 years of life.
Yeah.
And while that life is going on, you're just trying to figure out what's happening. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like why are we gathering together in these cities? Why are we going to work? Why are we going home and going to sleep? Why are we doing this? Like, what are we doing? Why are we staring at screens? Why am I bringing slaves?
Did you ever think about, like, as you get older, staying like as a funny comic? You know what I mean? Did that ever occur to you?
What does that mean?
Like, there's like you hang.
Maybe you should try to be funny. Maybe you should plan on being funny.
No,
Have you ever thought about being a funny comedian?
Have you ever thought about being funny? So, I'm saying that, like, in general, we have this sort of outlook that being funny, comedy in general, I'm saying, is a younger person's kind of thing, right? It's
up until like a certain age.
Yes.
What is that age? It's
I
probably
don't
like. Well, it's like there's really funny guys that are 60, like Ron White.
100%, man. I totally agree. I'm saying, like, has it ever, like, did you ever think as you're going through your 40s, like, am I still in that circle? I mean, it sounds like lame to say it, but like cool, funny, as opposed to like, oh, that guy's older. You know, like, do you ever process that as you age, or no, it's never a methodical thought, you know?
Well, I try not to think like that because that doesn't seem to have any upside.
Yeah.
It seems like a very limiting thought,
mm-hmm.
and there's nothing you can do about it if you are an older person. But
so you just focus
to mitigate, to cut that off at the path,
yeah,
I just try to do my best. So I feel like if you're living your life, you're in the moment, you're trying to do your best. And obviously you're going to fall out of that back and forth and left and right. You're going to have good days and bad days. Like when you have a mindset, or if you're trying to do your best at something, or trying to enjoy your life in a like a balanced, happy way.
Yeah.
It's not always a super smooth path, you know. There's a lot of like mistakes and hiccups along the way, and the whole thing is about like having an idea of what you're trying to do, have an idea of how you're trying to live and how you want to feel and how you want to affect people, and then sort of like figuring out your way through that path.
Yeah.
And then as you keep doing it, you keep getting better at it.
Sure.
And I think that if that's the case, if you're living your life like that, if you're trying to make this path through your existence, it'll at least leave you in a place where you're constantly trying to have fun and you're constantly trying to improve, and I think you'll get like better feelings out of it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. It's still this strange, temporary existence where you're awake and conscious for a certain amount of time every day, but then you're unconscious for a certain amount of time every day, and you're ultimately going to shut off.
Yeah. No, it's all going to go down horribly.
It doesn't matter what you're doing.
But I was looking at these photos of like Red Buttons and Jerry Lewis at these events, like you could buy a ticket to.
Okay. So when they become undeniably older comics.
Right. And I saw the audience was all very old, and I wondered like, is this a thing that happened at a moment?
Dude,
like
George Carlin
was 70 and still drawing in
young guys.
Absolutely.
Young
100%.
people rather.
So
young women too.
So that's a great counter to it. But my thought was, so is it that those guys, that's what I'm saying, stop being funny to a certain generation, or they stopped trying, or they just got, I don't know, so old, you know?
It could be a bunch of those things.
Yeah.
It could be taking care of your health. It could be touring and working a lot.
Yeah.
George Carlin was touring constantly.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would put out a whole new hour every year.
Unbelievable, man. And he was still really funny at 70. Like,
yeah,
really funny.
And he also had taken on the role of the angry curmudgeon.
Yeah.
You know, this angry, older comic who's also very wise and very liberal.
I love that character.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
angry
that point of view.
old liberal.
It's pretty funny.
Fascinating guy.
Yeah.
And stayed relevant to the very end of his life, and died, like, I believe, in a hotel room after a show.
Yeah.
I think he died in his sleep. I think it was one of those things.
Had a heart
crazy.
attack.
Did he?
Yeah, I remember he went to, I want to say, a Santa Monica hospital.
Well, he had issues with pills too, man.
Yeah.
He was pretty forthcoming about that.
He had some coke problems from earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That all that shit contributes. The pills are the most shocking, the way they deteriorate people.
Yeah. He was so funny at 70, man. He was so funny at 70. I mean, to think that dude was 70.
Killing. Still killing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you thinking about this now because you're a father now, and you're thinking you're getting older, you're getting into your 40s?
It's
thinking about it?
It's one of those things that what I actually think is that, like, I'll think about that. I'll look at people older than me. Then one of the things that I find inspiring is that I feel like people at the top of their game in stand-up right now are essentially all 10 to 15 years older than me. So I find that to be a very, like, inspiring thought, you know? Like, everybody is, like, late 40s, even early 50s, and you're like, oh, and it's just one of those things you go, like, oh, you can be better, you can still do greater things, be funny, like, develop more into your 40s. Whereas I think as a young comic, when you're 20, all you hear about is like 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. So you go, that must be the place to get to, 10 years. So when I'm 30, that'll be my development. But you realize you can keep working.
Well, also when you're thinking about the body of stand-up that's been before you, there's like so many great comedians that have done so many great CDs and DVDs and all these different things. One of the things that separates you from maybe a guy that lived 20 years ago is that you're also, like, playing off the body of work of all these people that came before you.
True.
Because they set this bar.
Right.
And you've been inspired by their comedy, and you've been inspired by, movies and all sorts of different pop culture things that just didn't exist 20 years ago. So you have, like, greater points of reference.
True.
Yeah. And I think as you get older, you have a better understanding of all the shit you're looking at. So you might be able to point things out, like, as you're in your 40s, that maybe you wouldn't have never even seen when you were in your 30s because you were tripping over your own dick and being a dumbass. And, and you didn't, your understanding of the world then would embarrass you today.
And sometimes it does. Just,
for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
For everybody. There's no doubt about it. Unless you're born the perfect person, you're a work in progress.
If you have any self-reflection, you look back and you're like, I can't believe I fucking used to think that.
But that's just a matter of getting better at life.
True.
But there's also nothing wrong with being Jerry Lewis or Red Buttons or any of those guys and just killing time when you get older and hanging out and just stopping the grind.
I was thinking about that just in the shower the other day. Like, I'd seen a picture of that, and I was like, I'm gonna be 80 in my fucking red jacket, in my fucking corduroy, and I'm gonna go, and my fans will be like the fans that saw me 50 years ago, and I'll just be in there
like Rodney.
Yeah, man. And I was actually happy with that thought too.
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't freak on that, man. That is what it is. It might not even be real. You might wake up tomorrow exactly the same age, and you might be programmed with this intermittent memory that every time you wake up, you pretend that you have this past that you're trying to get better than. But the reality is this same day has always been your life.
Why are you fucking with me,
over
man?
and over and over again. So everything that's happened other than this moment, this conversation, has been bullshit. It's all just been fiber optically implanted into that grain in the back of your ear.
Does Jamie press a button and then this happens?
This is what's happening with Trump, when Trump became president, and then when Kanye West was a fresh 3 or 4 days out of the loony bin, goes to visit Trump, and Trump, it's like, yeah, sure, it's
Come
not
on
like
in, man.
It's not like I'm the president. You're crazy. Come on in. But him and Donald Trump are apparently very good friends.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's wonderful. I love that. I love friendship.
Trump said he doesn't read the daily presidential briefings because he
probably
doesn't need
shouldn't.
them.
He's a genius.
Why
the fuck does he need the daily presidential briefings? That's our president, folks. Da, 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 da. Have you seen the Saturday Night Live sketch they did? How Donald Trump views the world?
No.
It's fucking hilarious.
I've seen a couple
I hope
of things.
he can take it as a joke. I hope he doesn't get too mad. That's one problem with that dude. is that he doesn't take jokes very well. He gets real upset.
I think he's gonna learn, man.
He's got to lighten up.
It's gonna be a long 4 years.
Yeah, you got to lighten up, bro.
Yeah.
And he was better. Jeff Ross had him. They roasted him.
I remember.
And Jeff Ross had a conversation with him. It's like, when people are cracking jokes about you, like, we turned the camera to you. It looks like you're a bad sport. Like, you're not laughing along. He's like, you're right. So he started laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's not.
Yeah.
He listens.
He gets it. Yeah,
it's not that he's unreceptive.
Sure.
But when he sees this Saturday Night Live one, it's going to be rough.
Yeah. He got mad at the last few.
Yeah, he's been mad at Saturday Night Live for a while, and so they keep chipping away at him.
Yeah.
But this is like the best Saturday Night Live has been in fucking years.
Of course, man. You have somebody to fucking go after. It's fantastic.
And you got Alex Baldwin willing to do it.
He's so
What are
good.
the odds?
Yeah.
Isn't he like an Oscar winner?
I think so.
How
He's
is
a
he not?
tremendous actor.
How is he not? Glengarry Glenn Ross? If he didn't win an Oscar, fuck the Oscars.
Yeah. No, he's a tremendous actor.
Some people say that was overdone. I don't like that scene. I just thought he was too over the top. That's not how people would behave.
It's a fucking stage play.
Some actors say that, though. You ever see that? Some actors think you try too hard.
Fine.
They don't like it.
Go away.
Too actory.
Too actory?
I've heard people say that.
I've seen people overact.
They're just too big. What they're doing is too big. It's not our show.
He should have been big right there.
This is not what we're looking for.
Yeah. I want something more grounded. That's the word.
Yeah. But Alec Baldwin is the fucking perfect Donald Trump.
He's fantastic in it. It's really fucking funny, man.
Also, Alec Baldwin really understands what it's like to be a cunt sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Although I don't think he's a cunt,
Yeah.
he definitely has had moments in his life where
Yeah.
he's been accused of being a cunt.
Yeah.
Remember when he attacked paparazzis? And
Yeah.
He's a wacky dude.
He
Did
got
he punch
accused
somebody
of,
or something?
He got accused of calling a paparazzi a fag. This was my favorite. And then he goes, I called him a fathead because it's kind of inaudible.
Right.
Because he's screaming down the street. He's like, I said fathead.
Yeah, it's more fat shaming.
Yeah, I was like, that's not what you said. But I also...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he called his daughter, who was 11, a rude, thoughtless pig. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the big one. That was the big one.
that was a
Yeah,
big
that's,
one.
That's hard. You know what, man? People fuck up.
Yeah, but you can't... What, are you going to punish him forever for that, too? Like...
That's
people-
terrible that he did that. It really is. But
I know, but don't you think he feels...
hopefully he feels it after
Yeah.
people heard that.
For
Obviously,
sure.
he's been forgiven by Hollywood.
You feel like shit after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's awful.
That was my first words to my mother when I was a baby.
It's awful?
No, I said, you're a rude, thoughtless pig.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You just formed that sentence like
I
that.
know, I know.
What was it that you were like stewing on until your lips formed correctly so you can make good noises?
I think it just... She wasn't feeding me enough, you know? So it just happened, man.
Yeah, imagine if babies could talk right out of the box.
Man.
If they had a full vocabulary
My
right out
guy's
of the box.
right on the line right
They
now,
would be so
starting.
stupid.
Yeah, they don't know anything.
Like full babies? They'd be like, monster. I'm like, not a monster, dummy. I'm your dad.
They would
Jesus
do
Christ.
everything. They would also be like, I'm going to eat this, everything.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, no. Like, eat plastic? No.
No.
Eat hair, rocks?
Can I stick my finger inside that light socket?
No.
What if I turn it on? No.
And no becomes like, this is going to be fucking awesome. That's what they do.
You know what my 6-year-old loves to tell me? Can I tell you something?
Oh, that
Right
expression.
before she's going to tell me something.
Yeah.
She goes, can I tell you something? It's always, can I tell you something?
That's fucking
You
cute,
know?
though. Yeah.
Can I tell you something? Debbie told this girl that she shouldn't do that because she wasn't allowed and it wasn't true.
And what do you do? You go, whoa.
Yeah, those are the kind of conversations you have with 6-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
wow, why wasn't she allowed? Because her mother doesn't want her to do it, but she doesn't want to listen to her mother. Whoa, that's crazy.
It's heavy
Was it
stuff.
outrage in kindergarten?
Yeah, really funny. That's their world, though. They think that's like, that's life.
I know, that is
Yeah.
life. You
Yeah.
got to respect that. That's why it's weird, you know? They get upset. They get upset if you don't want to listen to their wacky stories.
Yeah. You're like, it's a fucking boring story.
One thing I've been teaching my kids lately is don't repeat punchlines over and over and over again. Because when they nail punchlines, sometimes they'll say something really funny. And I said, listen, that's really funny. You said it was really funny. I'm so impressed that you said something that was that funny. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you say it again, it becomes less funny.
And if you
say it again, it gets even less funny. Like every time you repeat it. I know it's like fun to say something fun. Like you want to do it.
Right.
But I'm like, unless you're doing a new show the next night in a new town.
Yeah.
You can't, or the same town.
Do they
it's
get
a different
that?
crowd.
Yeah.
Kind of getting it. Yeah. Kind of getting it. But it's, it's touchy, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to discourage anybody from saying something funny and silly.
Sure.
Like they make each other laugh all the time. They make me laugh. We have these funny conversations. It's funny having like joke conversations where they're like cracking me up and
Sure.
they're 8.
Yeah.
Because like in my house, like
you're like head writer
goofing
in the
on
room.
stuff. Yeah,
It's
but
hilarious.
goofing on stuff is valuable.
Yeah.
Like it's valuable.
Mhm.
So like I mean valuable like in terms of like social commodity. Like it's hilarious. Like when one of them will say something funny and we all laugh, you can see their little eyes light up and then they want to make you laugh more.
Yeah.
You know? And it's also when you find out things that make people laugh, you find out things that are ridiculous that no one's talking about. Like that's
Right.
part of what's funny. When kids point something out, it's like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
This fucking 6-year-old notices that's stupid. Like
they tap into something.
Like my daughter was looking at one of those fat freeze billboards. You ever
Yeah.
see that fat freeze billboard?
Yeah.
This is when she was 5. She goes, I know that's fake because that girl's pulling in a stomach.
Oh, right. Oh, that's cute. That she's sucking in.
Yeah, she's sucking her stomach in, and she's not even tricking a 5-year-old.
That's hilarious.
But when she's saying it to me, I'm fucking crying,
Yeah.
laughing, and you see her little eyes light up. Because the way she said it, I didn't do a good justice with the delivery.
Sure.
But she was like cocky about it. Like,
Yeah.
I know that.
And then she's geeked out that you're laughing,
Yeah.
right?
She thinks it's so funny. She's
Yeah.
like, she's holding in her stomach.
Yeah.
Look at it, Daddy. She's holding in her stomach. Like a 5-year-old can see that. Nobody stands like this.
Yeah.
So, you know, Kylie Jenner sued those people who made that because that girl in the sign looked like her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do that. They've done that before.
You can sue someone for looking like you?
Kim Kardashian turned down some campaign, and so they hired a Kim Kardashian lookalike, and she sued him.
And won?
I think she won. Didn't she
What?
win, Jamie? It's hilarious.
Shit, is it fucking 5?
It's 5 o'clock, bitch.
Dude, man.
Where you going?
Gotta get home.
What time do you show tonight?
My show's at 8. What time should I leave?
Jesus Christ, you should have already left. You're fucked, dude.
I gotta get going.
You got to get to
home.
Pasadena in 3 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Cancel the show. Who's opening for you?
Doug Mellard, really funny guy.
Okay,
Really
cool.
funny guy from Austin. Lives here. Real funny.
How long has he been here? Did I meet him?
You may have met him. He's been here for a while. He's been doing stand up a while, and I've had him. I've brought him with me a few times. He's a really funny dude.
There's like a feeling that you get when someone says there's a really funny guy from Austin. You go, oh, he's probably cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah, he is
probably-
pretty cool.
Probably wears vests.
Mm-hmm. No, he doesn't have vests. Yeah, he's but he's a very funny
Probably
guy.
dresses like a Mumford and Sons.
Yes,
Like one of the music videos.
he looks like he would be in the band.
There's a piano in the middle of a field for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
They're all dancing around it.
he's got just like funny, ironic tattoos and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
does he?
Yeah, he's got a few.
Keep on trucking. You know, Ari has keep on trucking.
Yeah,
Tattooed on his
doesn't
body.
Kanane have some silly one like that too?
Does he?
I think he does. He has some silly ones. Yeah, no tats yet.
No, you thinking about getting something?
No.
No.
Just don't have I mean, I would if I had a fucking desire to or interest, but I don't.
How about this?
Let's go,
Right
champ.
across your belly.
Dude,
Let's go, champ.
how great was that?
How about that? Right across your belly. Like Compton.
Let's go, champ!
This Let's Go Champ.
Yeah.
How the fuck does no one have that? Jamie, please look up. See if anyone has Let's Go Champ tattooed on their belly. They must.
That's badass, dude.
They should totally have that.
That hat's dope.
That is a dope hat,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Let's
Yes.
Go Champ.
Yeah.
And it was given to me by
Shannon the
Briggs.
Cannon.
Shannon the Cannon Briggs. Let's go, champ. He's a great guy, man.
Yeah.
He's a fun dude. Like real positive and
I didn't see the episode. I didn't listen to it, but I saw his Instagram preparing to come here, and that got me fired up. It's like blending.
oh yeah, he was like putting blue
man. he's-
organic blueberries,
he's like-
champ.
Let's go, champ!
like
you
he's
don't
just
even have to watch them.
going
You don't
great.
even have to watch them.
Man, I was fired up.
I'm going to Joe Rogan. I'm going to Los Angeles. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. That was so fun for me to be sitting across from
Let's
him.
go, champ!
Yeah.
That's my ringtone now.
Is it?
That's right, bitch.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, we got to figure out a way to set that up. But Jamie isolated that for me.
Let's go, champ!
That's what it's gonna say when anybody calls.
I would keep that for years.
Oh, for
That's,
sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
For sure, man.
That is fantastic.
I remember I watched the first video of his, and I knew Shannon. I was a fan of his as a boxer for a long
Yeah.
time. But when I watched that video of him, I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, what is he doing? Like, this is interesting. Like,
And those are cinder blocks on
oh,
him.
he's a big boy. He's quite a large fella.
Yeah.
And when I hug him, I'm like, hi, buddy.
Yeah.
My head nestles next to his breasts.
That would hurt.
Well, he's a big boxer. He's big. You know, he's probably walking around in the 250 range or 240 range.
But that
at least.
connects with the chin.
Powerful puncher, man.
That's over.
Yeah, he's a serious knockout puncher. Shannon can crack. He's also got like this wicked left hook to the body. He's got a nasty jab, but he's got this left hook to the body that's like really rare to see in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Super like quick, technical, stabbing left hook. Just blap. Just gets under your rib cage with it, and he just drops guys. He's getting avoided. A lot of people don't want to fight him.
Don't want a piece of that, man.
Well, he's a big guy. He's still real dangerous. He's real motivated, and he talks so much shit.
Yeah.
He talks so much shit they can't take it.
Yeah.
And the people that they're going to these press conferences with him, and he's like yelling at them, trying to get fights with him.
Yeah.
And they're all at the press conference announcing another fight, and he's in the audience.
Yeah. He shows up at other ones. Yeah.
Oh man. He showed up at Vladimir Klitschko's, like, was eating lunch.
Yeah.
He started drinking his water, and, he started eating his food.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you eat, we eat. When you eat, we eat. Let's go, champ.
Talking a lot of shit, yeah.
Yeah, and that was when I started being aware of him. I was like, my God, he's crazy. Like, Shannon Briggs has gone crazy. And then I realized, he's just trying a new thing to make, like, get guys to fight him, make a name for himself. And it's really smart. Because he figured out a way to use social media, and he completely changed how people thought of him.
Yeah.
Because people thought of him before they knew about his personality. They just thought he was this killer boxer.
Yeah.
He even talked about it on the podcast. He was like, I just wasn't me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, just always, being this heavyweight knockout artist and this, tough guy. He's like, I'm goofy.
Yeah.
He was like, I goof around a lot. I'm always joking around. So you see that in those videos, and that's something that there was no other way for him to ever show that. Can you imagine if HBO came to his house and like, we want to watch you work out? Yeah. Let's go, champ.
Yeah.
Let's go. They would like cut all that out. Just cut all that out.
But then they would learn that that's what's going to make it a sensation, a hit, Well,
I think he had to do it like over and over and over and over and over again on YouTube and on Instagram for people to get addicted to it.
Yeah.
Because now, like, when I see it in my feed and it's Shannon sitting in front of like a bowl of food or something with a big smile on his face, I always click on those videos.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's him. That's who he is. I think that's one of the fucking coolest things about your show that you have with you and Christina, your mom's house. That's you guys.
That's totally genuine.
That's 100% how you guys are all the time.
That's true.
So like that's not available anywhere else. Like,
speaks to like when something gets popular, or it gets a fan base. It's because people connect to the authenticity, I think, of people's real personalities.
Yeah, man. There's definitely that, and there's also like there's less people from like Shannon doing that. There's almost no filters between him and people.
Right.
There's less people involved.
Yeah.
So you could get to see this guy like who he really is. And there's so many people like that now. Like Joey Diaz. When Joey Diaz does those periscopes,
Jesus,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it's like straight to Joey.
Yeah.
Straight to Joey. There's no one even around. He gets up in the morning. Yeah. He gets up in the morning, gives you like a few minutes notice. We're going live. We're smoking numbers. And then he gets on.
What did you do today?
And he starts talking about it. He makes these tweets, and they're ridiculous. Like, it's Monday. You're showing up with a big dick and a smile.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I have a big dick all of a sudden. Like, I'm getting.
But it's people love that guy, man. Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, that's Joey. Like, you're getting Joey, 100% Joey. The spelling's all fucked up. He has too many periods in a row. Doesn't matter. It's just you're getting straight Joey.
Yeah.
And that's one of the more unique things about this time. And those goddamn glasses that we were playing them when you went to pee.
Yeah.
Those Snapchat glasses, those things scare the shit out of me.
What is? Oh, you wear them and they Snapchat everything?
They're exactly kind of what we're talking about recording memories.
Yeah.
You're going to record things that people see. This guy was doing a operation, and he had those goggles on.
And it just recorded.
You're going to be able to stream your life. These things are cameras. Those things in the upper right-hand side are cameras. And there's this video that we were watching of this guy doing an operation, cutting this person open while he's wearing these Snapchat glasses. And it's so strange.
Christ.
Because you're realizing, like, oh, this is like the Motorola Razr. This is like the Motorola Razr. And one day we're going to have the iPhone 7.
I think it's crazy that we're talking about something that's $130. I thought we were talking about some really,
No. And it streams for the Snapchat app. And if you're looking at this now, come on, man. This is like that phone that Kirk Douglas or Michael Douglas had in Wall Street, right? It's basically what it is in comparison to what they're going to have just in a few years from now. Texting people, bro.
Well, I gotta get back.
Gotta get the fuck out of here. Wrap this up.
Unfortunately.
Wrapping it up.
Can I plug my tour?
Tommy Buns, please do.
I have a tour coming up. It's my first theater tour ever.
Shit. By the way, I just want to tell you, very inspiring. watching you do that set the other night in the main room, doing all new material that I haven't seen before, and it was really fucking funny stuff.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
That was really fun.
Thank you. I've been working since the last one came out, and I'm about at an hour now, and so the tour starts January, and I'm going like coast to coast, Canada, doing a bunch of dates, man.
Yeah, we could tell. You could tell you're putting in the time. That's that's one of the cool things about being in LA is I get to see so many guys like you.
Yeah.
And Joey and Burr and Ari and Duncan and all these guys that are just really fucking funny in this one area like all the time.
Yeah.
You
it's
know?
great to see other people do like people I love and that I look up to in stand up do sets regular here and crush. You're like, oh shit. It always keeps you on your toes, man.
Dude, the other night Dave Chappelle brought up Chris Rock.
The store.
Get the fuck out of Dodge.
He's going on a tour. Not that he needs the fucking plug.
Or Chris Rock brought up Dave Chappelle. One of those.
But
either way, get the fuck out of here.
But that's a first tour in 9 years for Rock.
Well,
exciting.
Divorce
is
a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He talks about it on stage. It's scary.
Did I tell you? So I opened for Chappelle. I did I shouldn't say I did a 10-minute set. I stopped by when I was in New York. I stopped by his show.
Where was he?
He was at the Gramercy, just 400 seat place.
Oh, wow.
Feels like doing it. And it was before SNL, but before they announced it. So I was doing Caroline's, and I pop over there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, do time." And he's like, "Do some time, man."
Oh wow.
I go do time. I do like 10 minutes. They don't want to see me. They're like, "Fuck, is Dave Chappelle?" So I get off. He goes up. He starts doing the set, and then Chris Rock walks out. And then they pull up chairs, and they basically have it's like a podcast. It's basically a live podcast.
Wow.
But they riff and they go on shit. And one point, Chappelle goes, he's like, you say the wildest shit though, to Rock.
Yeah.
And he's like, what you mean? You know, he's like, man, you say the wildest shit, man. He said, and Chappelle goes, you called me after your divorce and said, my wife has more money from comedy than you do. And I was like, that's such a funny, like Chris Rock said that to Dave Chappelle. My wife has more money from comedy than you do after divorcing.
Wow.
Like how funny though, of a thought about your situation, you know?
That is a funny thought.
Yeah. And it's also a lot of money.
It must be insane.
Yeah.
Because Chappelle's made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. And Rock's, yeah.
Well, Rock was probably one of the most successful guys ever when he was doing theaters. Like those, I mean, not theaters, arenas.
And he was doing world tours too, don't forget that.
He did a Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. Insane.
And he does giant spots.
A lot of money.
Oh, insane amounts of money. And it all went away to the girl.
But this tour, it's called Get That Money Back.
Is that what it's called? I wonder if he just paid off a giant chunk so he doesn't have to pay forever.
There was a timeline on it.
Yeah?
You know, there was because all this stuff was announced. The big Netflix thing.
I don't even want to know how much money he paid.
I'm sure it's so much money.
It's so insane that we pretend that if two people are in a relationship and one person makes all the money, that somehow or another there's an even deal.
It's so crazy.
It's so weird.
I got to piss again.
Go ahead, buddy.
Sorry.
Go piss and I'll wrap this up.
Okay.
We'll talk about your tour when you come back.
No, I'm all good.
We'll finish it up. Are you sure? Yeah. What about the dates? You want to give specific dates?
I think just the tour.
The tour with Tommy Buns. The No Teeth, No Entry tour. And all bullshit aside, because Tommy's not in the room right now, this new stuff is a little shaky. No, it's really funny. He's got one bit, I don't want to spoiler alert it, but he's got one bit that's like really intricate, and at the end of it I was like, holy shit, that's good. And when you're a funny guy like Tom already is, and you're putting out stuff, and then you have to write new stuff, the new stuff represents the new level of funny he is. That's the last throat clearing of this show, folks, I promise. This is a rough one, right?
Got through.
But yeah, the beginning, my throat just did not want to cooperate. And it was fine until I took one hit of weed and then I drank some coffee. And then something about the coffee and the weed together just produced this. We can't do that right before we go on stage. Or right before I go on the air. Should do it like 5 minutes before. And then do a lot of get that shit out of the way.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yeah, I wish there was a way to solve it, but you can't have
can't.
like a cough drop or anything.
No, that would probably be better than nothing, but it's definitely better now that we don't do the butter coffee anymore. That was fucking me up. Too many people were complaining, and they were right. So I took pride in trying not to clear my throat as much, and I still fucked it up. It's hard. It's hard out there, Tommy Buns. Tommy Buns. Why is no teeth, no entry?
I don't know.
Why not?
Just make fun of people.
People can buy that glassing shirt.
Absolutely. TomSegura.com.
They're going to buy them like fucking crazy now.
Yeah, just glassing, bro.
Just glassing.
Will you please tell the audience so I can have record that you're impressed with my water consumption?
You're the water champ.
Thank you.
You've been the water champ for as long as I've known you.
Thank you.
I mean, I've never even seen anybody try to fuck with you or try to take that title. They don't even talk about it. You know, like it used to be like people would discuss like who's the water champ, and now it's just.
I remember the first time I met you. It was in Phoenix. It was on this like the stand-up tour, and you came up to me after my set and you go, "I've never seen someone drink so much water during such a short set." And I was like, "Wow!" I felt connected to you. That you, like, that's what you saw.
I recognize this is unusual. You just kept drinking and no one said a word. But it was almost like if you drank one more bottle of water, someone would have to say something.
Yeah.
Like you're pounding the water, but you got to the point where I don't want to show off. And you put the water down. But you let them know. Like you're not fucking around.
Is this technically water too?
That's water too. So you're a super, super water champ.
That's fucking crazy.
This is just water with a mild amount of flavoring in it.
Mm-hmm.
But so did you like set out to be the water champ, or is this something that just happened,
It's
or did you
something
realize
that
you have a talent?
it's like a calling. Yeah, it's like did the guy set out to be the fucking the yo-yo champ? You know.
Now, when you wake up in the morning, do you get pee boners? Are you a big pee boner guy?
Absolutely.
Must, right?
Yep. And you have to do like the straddle and squat, and you're like, I gotta get this out of me.
Well, if you're drinking that much water, there's no way you're sleeping 8 hours, right?
Oh, I wake up absolutely. I have to tell myself like a child to not do. I do that before flights sometimes. You know, on that 6 a.m. flight, I'll be walking through the airport. I'm like, dude, just don't fucking drink for the next hour so you can sleep on the flight.
But you don't do it.
Usually I can't. My overwhelming urge to consume more water takes over.
But it's a competitive thing too, right? It's also you're putting down numbers. You
Yeah,
know?
man.
Like, you share these online with people.
Sometimes people will ask like how many, like what's your record? And I know for these in a day, it's somewhere in the 50s. And then I know that like gallon wise, it's just over 3.
Yeah, whenever someone likes to talk to me about people who work out hard, I always use the example of my friend Cameron Haynes, who run 205 miles.
How's that even possible?
78
man?
hours.
How's that
He's
possible?
a savage. He's
But
a
I mean,
savage. He's a crazy person.
He's a crazy person.
100%. But in a good way, like in an overachiever.
Yeah.
Just a madman, right? But when someone brings up, dude, I know this guy drinks a lot of water. I go, shut the fuck up.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I say. I go, shut the fuck up. I go, just stop talking about your fucking shitty friend and his shitty water consumption.
Yeah.
I know the guy.
Drinks
I know
oceans.
the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend, he downs like fucking 15 bottles of water a day, bro. Yeah. I go, Tommy Ted, he might drink 1,000 in a day. He just get it dropped off by the pallet. He just drinks water and pees. He drinks water and pees at the same time.
Dude.
Like sometimes he's peeing while he's drinking. Like you don't understand.
You're the ultimate hype man. And I feel like I should get a Let's Go Water Champ shirt.
And on that note, let's go, Water Champ.
Thanks for
Good night,
having me,
everybody.
brother.
Tom Segura, catch him on tours. New stuff is absolutely fucking bringent. You can watch 2 specials that are available right now on Netflix. Oh yeah, he is funny. But the new shit is even funnier. It's all fucking great. TomSegura.com.
Thanks, brother.
YourMomsHouse.com.
Yes.
And go catch him out on tour. All right, see ya. Oh.